Hello, everyone, and welcome back to West of Loathing. So, all these cans of flour stuck in the barrels. So, as the name of the stream implies, I am going to be doing the Reckonin at Gun Manor DLC tonight. Since I'm already here, I'll do this area first. Patch of loco weed. This guy seems to be in a daze, looking around uncomprehendingly at the boots and cobblestones around him. Hi there. These are some pretty cool boots you've made. Are they for sale? No. I mean, I'd like to sell them to you, but they aren't mine. Didn't make them? It's funny how everyone assumes that, but no, these were all made by elves. Elves? Yeah, man, like little elf guys. They're hard to see, like, just out of the corner of your eye, you know? Hold on a second. Back. They're hard to see, just like out of the corner of your eye, you know? But I'll be just kind of standing here and just kind of. And then I'm like, oh, hey, got another pair of boots in my hands because the elves made some more boots. Huh. Haven't made a pair of boots myself in, I don't know, like years? Something. These elves keep making them, though. I don't know why. Weird. Okay. You should open up a boot store. Huh? A store to sell boots in. They're not mine, though. They're. Right. The elves. The elves can't be making them just for fun, right? I think they're making them so you could sell them. Oh. Huh. Yeah, that makes sense. Sorry again. Give me a second. Back again. Right. The elves. The elves can't be making them just for fun, right? I think they're making them so you can sell them. Oh, huh. Yeah, that makes sense. There's a town called Dirtwater. You can open a really nice shop there. That's a pretty long trip. Haha. But, like, it'd be dangerous. I'd be worried the elves wouldn't make it, you know? I've got just the thing. Wow, what? Look at all these tiny little guns. See, with these, the elves would be able to defend themselves on the road to Dirtwater. Oh man, that's so weird. Okay, yeah, cool. He packs his boots and tools together and heads out of the tent. It'll be kind of amazing if he actually makes it to Dirtwater, but stranger things have happened. This young lady is dressed in fancy, expensive traveling clothes, though hardware has made them dirty and ragged. Also, her pupils are about the size of teacups. Wow, hi, a new face. My name's, one sec. Irene, she giggles. Everyone here just calls me Mushroom, so I forget sometimes. Howdy, Irene. I'm Doc. What's your story? Oh, not much to tell. I was hitchhiking to Frisco a few months back, but I stopped here and never got around to continuing, you know? We're like a big happy family here, and everyone's so nice and appreciative of how I know so much about mushrooms. Mushrooms? Uh-huh. They're good for all kinds of things if you know which ones to pick. If you want, I can tell you a few of my favorites. Okay, cool. Would you like to buy a mushroom? This batch is extra groovy. How about a free mushroom? Well, I guess. I suppose they're ultimately free after all. Sure, one won't hurt. Plus, what do I even need meat for? You got an item, Lactarius dirtihipica mushroom. Exactly. And I got Curtsy and Charm. The Curtsians have really taught you a lot about how to take advantage of hippies. I am Doc. Teeth, 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 clavicle, femur, teeth. Wow. Okay. Give her some skull chips. You hand her some bone chips and she stops muttering. Her eyes seem to focus a little and she takes some glue out of her toolbox and presses the chips into a ring. You got a bone chip ring. As soon as she gives the ring to you, though, she's back to her muttering. Nice. Thank you. Leave her to her hallucinations. I am Doc. Salutations, Doc. They call me the Talking Dude because of my extensive knowledge of the principles of philosophy and the arguments and conundrums surrounding its various aspects and interpretations. I bet that's not why they call you that. Can I interest you in a discussion of the particulars of courtesy and philosophy, Doc? Sure, why not? The Talking Dude begins and you immediately tune out. Blah, blah, dialectical materialism, blah, 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 blah. I understand completely. Blah, blah, blah. The deontology of it, blah, 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 blah. Make a gasp. He acknowledges your interest and barrels onward. Blah, blah, of course, the blah, 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 blah. I understand completely. Blah, 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 as opposed to lock, blah, blah, but on the other hand, blah, blah, blah. Try not to yawn. Acknowledges your interest and barrels onward. Blah, 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 blah. Allegory of the cave. Blah, 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 blah. Uh-huh. Blah, 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 blah. Type versus token. He sees interest in your eyes and continues with renewed vigor. Blah, blah, blah. On the other hand, Cartesian dualism. Okay. Blah, blah, blah. Categorical imperative. Blah, blah, blah. Necessary and sufficient condition. It actually seems like some of this is rubbing off on you. You got a courtesy and philosopher. Okay, hello. Ah, hello. Yes, hello. Hello. Yes, I'm Todd. Doc, pleased to meet you. So, what do you do around here, Todd? I'm a chemist. I've been researching the properties of some of the local mushrooms. Properties like what? Like how they get you totally wrecked. Haha. Right. I'm kidding. They actually have a lot of interesting properties that could be a real boon to medicine. They may even hold a solution to many psychological disorders. Oh. Well, that's pretty interesting. The fact that they also get you absolutely smashed is just a happy side effect. Woo! I see. You have any lactarias, dirtihipica mushrooms that could refine them into a more potent potable, i.e. a potion? In fact, I do. Boils up the mushrooms and distills the results into a little bottle for you. Go easy on this stuff, it has a real kick to it. This woman is rocking back and forth making noises as she rapidly flips her lips with her fingers. Hi. Ask her what she's doing. Nothing really, just making dumb noises to entertain myself. Kind of reminiscent of something, but I'm not sure what. She shrugs. Think she's beatboxing? This tall, muscular, bald man is leading his students in an aerobic workout routine. His voice is powerful yet disconcertingly soft as he counts off 1, 2, 3, 4. Excuse me, what's going on? Exercise. You must strengthen the body. The body is weak, the mind cannot be strong. These two are one. Who are you? I am Kurtz. My methods will usher in a new age of power and will. Can I exercise with you? Kurtz glances at your clothes. You do not have the proper attire. Before muscle becomes skin, before skin becomes clothing. You look around and sure enough, everybody else is wearing the same striped pants and weird fuzzy headband. Can I exercise with you? Hell yeah. Power surges through you. You have unlocked true potential. sturdy safe that contains, you assume, guns. One of George's cabinets opened a crack. Last entry said she was buried in plot 420 of the military center up north. Nice. It's a sealed case of old army supplies. Pry it open. Bunch of military manuals. They all look too complicated for you, except for one. Big simple one. Cannon loading for idiots. Ooh, chest full of medals. This book is so rudimentary that it's insulting to your intelligence, even though you know almost nothing about loading cannons. Alright. Alright. Ride the ghostly carriage back to Gun Manor? Heck yeah. It's a lady carrying some weird equipment. Talk to her. Excuse me. Do you work here? Who, me? No. That's... I can't find any employees in the gift shop either. I haven't even started this job yet and it's already a pain in the neck. In my neck. What's wrong? Can't get inside. Mrs. Gunn hired me to come out here and deal with a bunch of spooks that are haunting up the place. I can't do that if I can't even get in the front door, though. Who's Mrs. Gunn? You never heard of Terry Gunn? Should I have? Well, I would think so. She's a pretty famous inventor. You've got her best-known invention hanging right there on your belt. She invented belt buckles? Wow. Guns. She invented guns. Oh. Oh. Spooks? Like ghosts? Exactly like that. Yep. 13 of them, according to my instruments. Florence Cunningham Cunningham Ghost Annihilation Services. That's me. Interesting. What do you annihilate them with? Science! I was gonna guess that weird kind of rifle-like contraption you're carrying. Yeah, it shoots science! What's wrong with the front door? The front door, well, it's, locked? No, not locked, no. So what's the problem? Okay, see, I'm a ghost hunter. I ain't a spider hunter. I don't hunt spiders at all. There's a huge, gross, hairy, fanged, drooling giant spider in the foyer. So until I either find another way in or find someone else to take care of the spider hunting side of this biz, I'm staying right the frig out here, okay? I see you feel pretty strongly about this. I do! Well, maybe I could help you out. Hey, that'd be swell. You know, you look reasonably tough and or wily. Why don't we team up? I'll handle the ghosts, and you can handle things that aren't ghosts. Okay, let's go. Okay, Florence, let's go. Roger, copy. Stock, actually. Carriage house door is locked. Ticket. Gun Manor carriage house. Hey, somebody left a book on the seat of this one. It's a pair of old hedge clippers. There is something useful. Near the empty herbicide. Ooh, the courtesy hammer for the coach's passengers. These are some nice coaches. Pile loose boards. Ooh. Ah! Various boring tools like drills and awls. Tools for boring. Just a lathe. It's not worth getting into a lather over. Who are you? There's a guy slouching around in here, smoking a cigarette. Hiya. Hey. Sup? Do you work here? Are you a parking attendant or something? Yeah, I guess. I validate people's parking in that. Can you? I'm on break. Oh. Well, really everyone's on break. Kinda. What do you mean? A whole bunch of ghosts showed up in ghost carriages all of a sudden. Everyone's either hiding out or kidnapped. I got here in a ghost carriage. Oh man, did I die somewhere and not notice? Am I a ghost? The guy jabs your forehead with one finger. Nope. Oh. Vince? Okay, well, you should probably go back to work now. Yeah? Why is that? Because I'm going to rescue all the other employees, and if they come back and catch you slacking off, they'll be ticked. Aw, jeez. Okay, just let me finish the smoke before you go getting all heroic. Gun Manor Visitor Center. crank is missing from this record player. Hello again. Oh, it's you. Hey, they let you smoke in here? Let's just say they haven't successfully stopped me. Why sneak off to the carriage house to smoke if you could do it in here while you're working? Well, I'll give you a hint. I don't like working. Can you validate my parking? Didn't you say you got here in a ghost carriage? That's right. Those don't actually take up space, so it doesn't count as parked. Oh, never mind then. You don't know what this machine does, but you do know you don't know how to operate. You don't know to operate it. Sign on this receipt says genuine Gun Manor souvenir tokens. Make your wishes come true. Just 50 me. Negotiate a better deal. In a staggering display of business acumen, you convince the machine to give you a discount. There's an old framed photograph of Mrs. Gunn on the wall with a little explanatory plaque underneath it. Take a closer look. The photograph is of a young Mrs. Gunn smiling as she accepts a fancy trophy from a man in a suit. A frowning man wearing a lab coat is standing behind her. The plaque reads, Terry Gunn and assistant, accepting the 1869 sorry. Why didn't we think of that? Award for excellence in inventing from the National Academy of Profitable Sciences. It's an info desk, but the only info you know about it right now is that there's nobody staffing it. Fortunately, there's nobody here to sell you a snack now. Photo counter's unattended, and you don't know how to use this kind of camera. You're not a thief, so you're going to have to wait until there's someone you can pay before you get any of this candy. Uncharacteristically, the IRS has actually added 50% to this sign. Ha ha ha. Past here is just nothing. Where is this place? Alright. Try the handle of the front door. Doesn't seem locked, but some kind of force is holding it shut. Yeah, some ghost is playing tricks on you because they know you ain't packing science. Stand back, I got this. Florence unlimbers her weird rifle and fires a short burst of swirling light into the doorknob. You hear an eek sound from inside, and the door swings open. Ah, works every time. This doesn't seem that scary. Exterminate it. See, that wasn't so bad. Easy for you to say. She shudders again. Let me check over here. Is there anything else over here? It's an informative plaque about the hedge maze. This bronze plaque reads, the Gun Manor hedge maze was erected in 1888 for the entertainments of guests and the family's then 2 daughters. You are welcome to meander its path, so we recommend caution during the winter. Below that is pasted a handwritten note. Actually, we recommend staying out altogether because the crazy wizard moved in and has been animating the shrubs. Danger. Weird. Wow, this is some hedge maze. The medical school I went to had one of these in the courtyard. Really? What for? Some rich guy who wasn't particularly clear on the needs of a medical school donated it. Officially, it was for training focusing concentration. Mostly everyone used it for making out in. Well, so long as you were focused, right? Ooh, the back of Gun Manor. The remains of a coal delivery man. His bones are charred as though he were burned in some kind of coal man stove. Gun Manor carriage house key. Oh. It smells like coal, but it's empty. It's a huge amount of food in various stages of decay. Maybe someone's trying to start a compost heap? That would be the charitable explanation anyway. Investigate. Deep through the trash to find a single item of nominal trash. Got a jumbo shrimp fork. Coal chute. Shoot on up it. Wild tea bush. Actually, sounds like I thought you don't have anything appropriate to put them in. What were you planning on doing with them anyway? Meat bush. You didn't think I could grow in this climate. Would you look at that crazy thing? Jeez, destroy it with herbicide. A sign on the wishing well says tokens only. Make a wish. Hold the token over the well and try to think of something to wish for. After a few seconds, you accidentally drop the token into the well without making a wish. Dang it. I wish I had that token back. You hear some chimes and a rope appears on the wishing well's crossbeam. Well, how about that? There's a little spigot here, but since the boiler's not, I won't do much of anything. Boiler's cold me indicator for cold tank is going to be. Someone's been cocooned by the spiders. Horrifying. Hey, are you okay in there? Mm-hmm. What? What? I can't understand you. Hang on, I'll poke you a mouth hole. There, you were saying? Hi, hello, salutations. Hey, you okay? I've certainly been better. What happened? I was practicing my greetings. I'm the museum greeter. Is that something that requires a lot of practice? Practice makes perfect, right? And there's an old mannequin down here that's pretty good for practicing on. This is getting increasingly weird. Anyway, a bunch of giant spiders grabbed me from behind. It was quite a surprise. I would imagine so. I should probably get back to work. It wouldn't be right to allow visitors to go ungreeted. Can you let me out of this cocoon? Sure. Cut open the sticky cocoon, freeing the trapped museum greeter. Ooh, thanks. I climbed down the wishing well to get here. You should probably leave the same way. Great. Stop by the entrance later and I'll give you the official museum greeting. No! Yes. Takes more than 3 huge spiders to stop you from killing everything you meet. You deal with those spiders out there before you check out that creepy hole. Okay, this is just ridiculous. Dive in. Made short work of those long-legged nasties. Oh geez, somebody trapped in this cocoon. It's a mannequin? Boy, the spider must have been super disappointed. Why was it moving? It's that creepy mannequin from before. Practice greeting it. What's shaking? Try again. What's shaking? Hi. What's cracking? Greeting. Sup? How's it going? Good news is there's only one spider. The bad news is that it is huge. Pain its hide despite its size. You turn the giant spider into a giant mess. Now it's time to collect the useful parts of the mess. Pie safe is really working overtime. What with all the spiders? Ew, spider pie. Spiders aren't going to let you pass without a fight. In spite of how many eyes they have, those spiders never saw you coming. What horrors lurk inside this thing? Tear it open and find out. It's bones. Well, bones of pants. Double silk pantaloons. It's a big can of paint with a brush sitting on top of it. Paint something on the wall. Boo! Ah! Ah! It's a box of old photos. They're all photos of boring looking people you don't recognize. Just a bunch of dusty old cleaning supplies. Plotco lock, eh? Like for us to have a key for every model they make. Orange fumbles a giant key ring out of her pocket and finds the one that unlocks the door for you. Head on in. Oh, hey, a lab. Check it out. Orange starts excitedly poking around the workbenches and shelves. You must have been doing some really good science down here. I don't even recognize half the stuff. Okay, well, don't accidentally blow us up or anything. Shh. Relax, I have an advanced degree in tinkering and fiddling. Uh-huh. You assume that these 3 boxes all contain the same thing, but you don't know what it is. This workbench is littered with scrap metal and little canisters labeled bismuth. Do not eat. It's a chart with all 76 elements on it, including sulfur, praseodymium, and bismuth. They even left room for the ones that haven't been discovered yet. like Tokidium, Shootium, and Tauron. Workbench with a device on it. Examine it. This device clearly has a purpose, but you can't fathom what it is. Maybe that blueprint on the wall there could help you out? Some kind of complicated blueprint. Aha! It's a device reducing the loudness of gunfire. Silenter, if you will. You'll look over the tools on the bench. You can definitely make a silenter here. The first thing you'll need is a 1.2337 inch diameter cylinder. Maybe a tin can would work. You also need some stuffing to pad out the inside of the can. That's going to be tricky to find. Yeah, okay, maybe later then. Bench covered with gunsmith tools and supplies. You don't really know much about gunsmithing, so you just kind of randomly cram pieces together until you have something gun-shaped. You got an item. The worst gun. Who's got 2 thumbs and is lucky they haven't been shot off yet, but because of this inexpertly constructed gun. You! Cabinet full of first aid supplies. Aid yourself. Box of science stuff. Ooh. Ah, there's the coal bin. Coal contains approximately an infinite number of spiders. Pulse them out, fight them. A big, moist spider. An excited spider. You successfully minded those spiders' businesses for them. Okay. You holler for Florence as she comes over to you. Whoa, Nelly, hold on a second. That's a ghost. Those things are dangerous. I wasn't expecting to see any of these here. What? You're a ghost hunter and you're here specifically to hunt ghosts. No. That's just ghosts. This is a ghost. A greater haunt originating from spectral transmissions. Totally different from a ghost. Except for the name, you mean. Anyway, those things can be pretty tough. Heck, I knew I should have brought a bismuth bomb. What bomb? Bismuth. It's a sort of silvery metal that screws with spectral energy, the way iron does with magnetic energy. Huh, so where do we get a bismuth bomb? Bismuth. Normally I just make it myself in my lab. Well, so much for that idea then. Well, that workbench we found earlier might have the stuff I need. Let's come back later. Weird, this bush seems to be full of pinto and kidney beans. You didn't think those grow in bushes, and you especially didn't think they both grow in the same bush. Oh god. Oh, I'm out here again, I guess. These things are more aggressive than most of the foliage you've encountered, except maybe that holly bush you fell into when you were 3. Fight it. You leave. Haha, those hedgemen. Monsters in a fragrant heap. Ooh, thanks. You think a gal could sit and eat her lunch in a weird hedge maze without getting accosted by monsters? What is the world coming to? You said it. Is it safe to go? I should get back to work. What do you do here? I work in the visitor center. I run the token smashing machine. We saw these little brass tokens stamped with the museum logo. You can either use them in the wishing well or run them through a machine that rolls them out flat and stamps the museum logo onto them. That's my job. It stamps the museum logo onto them again? Yeah, but they're longer after that. Huh. So do you think it's safe to leave yet? Wait here until I make sure it's safe. Hedge wizard's domain. This must be that hedge wizard. Give him a trimming. Hedges, heed my call. You've only succeeded in kicking the hedge wizard's ass down the road a ways. It was still pretty satisfying. Let's chase that jerk down. It's a big topiary W. Maybe it stands for why would somebody make a topiary W? Well, at least he didn't run very far. Not far enough, by far. Okay, this is getting pretty annoying. H is for hedge, probably. Okay, at this point, he's got nowhere left to run to. Well, assuming that weird portal thing behind him is exit only. Advance on it. Victory. Finally. The Hedge Wizard Secret Stash in a treasure chest of Goblin Manufacturer. Loot it. You got an item. Hedging your bets. This is the book the Hedge Wizard used to earn enough meat to become a wizard. The terminology is just a fun coincidence. Read the book and learn all about all the things that financial responsibility and decorative horticulture have in common. Reading the book results to make some budget cuts, but you mistake the book for your budget and cut it to pieces instead. Aww. Hedge Wizard's Journal. Somebody is scrawled private. Do not read. HW on the spine of this journal. Read it. Full of terrible poetry. Here's an example. Everlasting shrubbery, nobly leaf-crowned, whence comes all joy. Sweet thy fragrance, wondrous thy strength. Namaste. Namaste, my lord. Huh. Some kind of portal both made of and filled with enchanted shrubbery. Okay. Yeah, you're good to go. Lady leaves. Get it. Leaves. Fancy new electric floor lamp. Turn it off. Turn it on. It's as cold as the federal grant administrator's heart in here. I wonder what's causing that. You don't think it's, all that ice? Nah, you got it backwards. The ice couldn't be here if it wasn't cold to begin with. That's science. Maybe the house's heat got shut off somehow? You better see if there's a furnace or boiler or something. It'd probably be in the basement. Alright, let's have a look around. It's a plaque. The house of Mrs. Terry Gunn. Teresa Terry Gunn, born 1847, built the stately, if architecturally unusual, manor house in the late 70s. Completed in 1877, using the proceeds from her famous invention, the gun. After her retirement in 1891, she graciously opened up many of the rooms to the public as a museum and historical center. Interesting. Her eyesight isn't good enough to really examine this painting. This painting is only kind of good. It's one of those round fruits. Radiator is as cold as a radiator is when the boiler isn't working. It's a sofa with some nice throw pillows on it. It's a tea cart laden with tea things. Take them. Ooh, you liberate the tea service from its cart. The door is barred. Disbar it. You remove the bar from the door and hurl it out a nearby window. Go through the door. Hey Florence, can you make a Bisquick bomb out of this stuff? Bismuth! Come on, man, it says it right on the containers. Fine, fine. Can you make it though? Hell yeah, I can. Stand back and watch a master at work. Stand back, set it up. Florence goes to town with a hammer and pliers and comes back with a metal sphere. It has a grinning skull painted on it and a big red button on the side. Well, that's properly intimidating at least. And it ain't just a pretty face. Got an item. Bismuth bomb. Ruby. Orange holds up the bismuth bomb. Gives you an excited look. Okay, go for it. Great, better cover your ears and eyes, and well, just cover your entire head. Let her rip. Seems to you like this machine is designed to suck up coal and send it through the wall. But then again, you're no expert in matters of coal or sucking. This coal is funkier than coal from Mecca, but not as funky as coal from Medina. Big old cart of coal. Push it. Go under the weird machine now, so everything should be ready to go with whatever the weird machine does. Boiler's off, full tank full. All I need to do now is press the ignition button. Press it. Boiler clatter swipes the tank full of coal against the little spigot here. Turn it on. Pour a little bit of boiling water onto the dirt floor, making hot mud. Aha! Turning on the boiler solved our ice problem. My scientific hypothesis has been proven correct. But we don't have the direct evidence connecting the ice to... Don't you try and pull a post hoc ergo propter hoc on me. I'll shoot you with my science rifle. In that case, I totally agree with you. Let's hunt us some ghosts. Heck yeah. Radiators are burbling merrily and producing plenty of heat now. A painting of an elephant would love this. Still life of a fruit, technically. Still life of a fruit. Gun Manor dining room. A big rack of expensive-looking plates. More closely. Horrifying! Oh, it says boo in the plates. Ghost is cramming his face with invisible food. Maybe he's the ghost of an emperor? Correct his manners. Hey, buddy. Hey? Huh? Come on, man. At least use a napkin or stick your pinkies out or something. Oh, sorry about that. I'm so hungry. What's going on here? This waiter doesn't know how to make ghost food, so he's just giving me imaginary food and hoping I won't know the difference. I feel kind of bad about dragging him into this mess, so I've been pretending to eat it to humor him. I'm starving. Huh, you need some actual ghost food? Maybe I could help you out. Oh god, yes, please. Specifically, what I want is a bowl of chili without a gun in it. Okay, what? That's what I'm craving. I guess it's probably because of how I died. How did you die? Well, I was eating some chili and it had a gun in it. Did you choke? What? No, it went off and shot me to death. Look, all I know is I need to eat a bowl of gunless chili in order to satisfy my hunger and pass on to the afterlife. Okay, well, I'll see what I can do. One of the museum staff is frantically serving plates to the ghost, who is politely pretending to shovel the food in by the fistful. Seems too busy to talk to you. Deserted dessert cart. Okay, it's not entirely deserted. It's only deserted of desserts. Just desserts. Got a small blowtorch. Yo, Flo, what do you know? She raised an eyebrow at you and glanced at one of her weird instruments. According to my weird instruments, there are 13 ghosts left on the premises. More precisely, there are 4 left on the first floor, 4 left on the second, 5 on the third. Found something for you. Science, you know. Found some scientific-looking stuff you might be interested in. Ooh, I love science-y junk. Thanks. Don't mention it. Wow, a Swucrisium-coated diode. Nice. Orange attached to one of the science doohickeys you gave her to her weird backpack. Orange's gun damage has been increased. Youth scale enlightenment field. Gun Manor kitchen. Oh, hey, there's a little tin on here labeled chili spice that might be useful. There's a ghost here mumbling, muttering and yammering something about eggs. Interpret his disjointed ravings. Hang on a second. Tried to poach an egg by shooting it? For daggum, yes, that's what I did. Of course I did. That's how you poach an egg. Happy didn't raise no fool. But daggum, first looking at her egg rolled out of the way of the bullet, ricocheted off the bottom of the cook pot and got me right between the peepers for daggum. That's not how you poach an egg. What are you talking out of your head like that? Course 'tis. No, it isn't. Dadgummit, boy, me and my pappy and his pappy been poachers all our lives, and I know more about poaching than you ever will. Okay, but that's not the same kind of poaching. What's all this daggum sass talking? Mush talking, boy. Poach is poaching. I'm going to prove you so wrong. As soon as I figure out how. The ice room. Aha! Somebody left the ice room door open. That explains the ice. Go to the ice room. Go inside. Gun Manor, walk-in freezer. Hey, hi, excuse me? You seem to be trapped in a block of ice. That was just what I wanted to talk to you about, actually. Could you get me out of here somehow? Besides the whole frostbite thing, I'm supposed to be running the elevator. There aren't any proper stairs in this crazy place, so that's kind of important. Let me think. Maybe this would help? Dessert blowtorch. I could get you out with this blowtorch. Whoa, what? Blowtorch? Jeez, be careful with that. Turn the knob and spark the flame, which turns out to be as big of that as that of a cigarette lighter. Oh, okay, fine then. Be careful. Over the next 45 minutes, you use up the entire tank of butane, but manage to melt the ice enough that the lady can break free of the ice. Thanks. I've got to get back to my elevator, but come see me and I'll let you ride for free. There's a charge to ride the elevator? No, like I just said. It's a Magimech Tech brand deep freeze unit. More frozen goods of unknown composition and provenance. Unidentifiable matter, frozen solid. Bags of frozen food? Another shelf of frozen stuff. Hey, thanks again for the help back there in the freezer. This is the elevator. Fortunately, all we can do at this point is go to the second floor. Why just the second floor? The button for the third floor is missing. I'll bet anything the old housekeeper took it and hid it in some hilarious place. She loved wordplay. That's where they fired her. That and all the stealing important things and hiding them. Second floor, please. My throat is a little dry. You're fond of these fronds. The bottom edge of this frame looks thicker than the other edges. A messy stripe of brightness on a dark background. Gun Manor Art Gallery. This painting is covered by a sheet. Remove it. Ah! Ah! Bunch of T's and a bunch of different typefaces. This one is more avant-garde, I guess. These are the 3 kinds of tattoos that have been invented so far. Hey, European dude, IRK. List of statistics about the gallery. Gallery statistics. T's 8, ATs 9, Pats 3, Stats 7, Stage 45, Statues 3, Statues 69,105. Fascinating. Okay, European dude IRK. States. It's a list of all 45 states, including Wisconsin, Michigan, and North Dakota. I wonder what will get annexed next. Maybe it'll be the Minnesota territory. Statues. Wait a minute. Stats block said there were only 3 statues in here. Investigate. You peer closely at the statues until you find the one that you're pretty sure is just a guy covered in flour. Hey, buddy. What are you doing? Look, I am 95% certain you're a real person, not a statue. What are you up to? Statue, go away. Okay, now I'm 99% sure. Oh, wait, what's your name? Oh, go away. Hi, Paul, I'm Doc. What are you doing? I'm pretending to be a statue so the ghost won't get me. Oh, my cover. Okay, I'll see what I can do. Objection! Huh? What are you objecting to? Your face? Overruled. What's your problem anyway? Ah, it's legal stuff you never understand. Well, la-di-da then, jerk. List of boring laws from before the cows came home and everything got fun again. More laws, each one more complex and boring than the last. It's a smorgasbord of legalese, and you're not hungry. Hi, Graham. Okay, do one on my lap. Abstract buddies. Don't know what these cans mean, but you know they mean it 12 times. Library. A book is a terrible thing to not read. What does the switch do? Flip it and see. Ooh! Ah! Hey, Frank. What are you doing, buddy? Sorry, I got a cat. He's on my lap right now. It's a big dictionary on a pedestal. Would come in handy if someone tells you to look something up in your funkin' wognals. Look something up. Oh. Poaching. You look up poaching in the dictionary. Slow cook by immersion in water. Shoot an animal belonging to the king. See? You told that ghost in the kitchen that there were two meanings. Tear out the page so you can prove it to him. Leave the dictionary. Ghostly librarian is glaring at you as if daring you to make a noise. Talk to her. Excuse me, but shh. Oh, sorry, I was just shh. Okay, Jesus, this good? I suppose it will do. Now, what was your question? Can you help me with some library stuff? Can you shh? Can you help me with some library stuff? Perhaps be more specific. Looking for some of that delicious paste. That paste is for book readers, not reading. Oh, please. Oh, shucks. I was wondering how you died. I was wondering, shh. I was wondering how you died. It's not your personal question. I was caught in the crossfire in a library shootout. Wow, what happened? A pair of ruffians got into a heated argument over the comparative merits of Anton Chekhov versus Henrik Ibsen. And when they started shooting, I attempted to step in and stop them. I simply won't abide gunfire in my library. It's too loud. Ibsen versus Chekhov? Huh. What was their point of contention? I don't recall the particulars. I just remember the Chekhov fans shouting, "Remember that gun I showed you in Act 1?" before opening fire. The noise was dreadful. That's your only objection? Noise? It's quite sufficient. I won't tolerate noise of any stripe, but certainly not gunfire. I'll see what I can do. Row upon row of identical looking books, with only numbers on their spines. Investigate. You have no idea where to even start. There's a guy lying here, trapped underneath a large book. You okay under there? Shh. No talking back there. Sorry. Jeez. That guy is still here, trapped under his book. Take a closer look. Turns out to be a book about geology. It's bound in stone, and it appears that each chapter is devoted to a different type of stone, and is printed on slabs with stone in question. This isn't going to be easy to move. Move it! Managed to heave the book off of the guy. Ooh, thanks. I thought I'd never get out from under there. At least now I know all about the particular type of granite described on that one page. How'd you get trapped like that in the first place? Well, I work at the info desk in the visitor center, so on my breaks I like to research different kinds of info. You know, just in case anyone asks. I guess you never know when someone might ask you about rocks. Exactly. Oh man, I'm late getting back. Thanks again. Feel free to stop by my counter if you have any questions. Sure thing. Okay. First floor. You again. Think you can teach my granny to poach eggs by dadgun? You don't poach eggs by shooting them. I have proof. Oh yeah? Well, read 'em and weep, you weird old coot. What in tarnation? Poach. A method of preparing food, especially eggs, by simmering them in a boiling liquid. Well, I'll be dadgum. He dissipates into the ether, still muttering to himself. So there. This little placard on the stove says chili stove. How very specific. Need a bowl of chili to give to that ghost in the dining room. This stove seems relevant to that need. Unfortunately, ever since your conversation with him, you're not even sure you know what chili is anymore. Maybe you should do some research. Okay. This is the most lard you've ever seen in one vessel. The larder. The lardest. The ardest. The shelf is full of pots and pans, including one extremely fancy bean pan. Grab that beautiful bean pan. I'll get back to the larder in a minute. All right. I don't appreciate backseat driving in general, but chili. Look up chili in the dictionary. Chili. Noun, a savory soup made from beans, spices, and a gun. Huh. Leave the dictionary. You need a bowl of chili to give to that. Goes to the dining room. Okay, please stop. No spoilers, please. According to the dictionary, you need some spices, some beans, and a gun. Oh wait, except you're trying to make chili without a gun in it, so you have to remember to skip the gun part. Okay, keep it together, Doc. Spices. Yeah, you've got that under control. Grab a chili pot and put it on a burner. You shake a heaping helping of chili spices into the pot. The next step is beans. Beans are your specialty. Conjure some pintos. A mixture of spices and beans is bubbling merrily. Now for the final ingredient, a gun. No gun. You restrain yourself from adding a gun. Step back and admire your handiwork. It's not according to Hoyle chili because it doesn't have a gun in it, but it is chili with no gun in it, which is the thing you were after. You got an item, chili con sin pistoles. Ghost thing, okay. I'm back and I've got a bowl of 100% gun-free chili right here. Oh my gosh, thank you so. Oh. Is something wrong? Well, see, I can only eat ghost food. How do I... Do you need me to murder this chili for you? Not to put too fine a point on it, but yes. Alright, I guess I'll try to find a humane way to do that. Chili murder time, I guess. Don't know exactly how to do that yet, but I'll figure it out. Food on the shelf is all decorative. The shelf is almost all fancy French stuff you're afraid to eat, but there's some caviar. I've always been curious about that stuff. Tin caviar. Cans of every shape, size, and food you don't like. Wait a second. Eureka! These cans of string beans are exactly 1.2337 inches in diameter. They must have packed the beans lengthwise. Oh, weird. What you thought was a framed photograph is actually a window. Why does the larder have a window? And why is this ghost standing motionless in front of you as if you were a framed photograph? Excuse me. Hello? The ghost ignores you. Grab him by the shoulders and shake him. You grab the ghost, somehow, and shake him until he rattles. Please cease this activity at once. Sorry, I got a little carried away. Now that I have your attention, how about telling me who you are? Ah, you do not recognize me? Jean-Francois Lardest? Nope. Zoot! I knew simply mimicking the photograph would not be sufficient. Without it, how will anyone know I am the most famous Frenchman ever to visit Gun Manor? Have a lot of Frenchmen visited? Besides having the distinction of being the most famous Frenchman to visit Gun Manor, I'm also the first Frenchman to visit Gun Manor, and the last as well. Gosh. How did you die? I was posing for a photograph to commemorate my visit here, and the fool of a photographer fouled up when preparing the gunpowder flash. Fouled up how? He left a bullet in it. Ah, I see. I must have this photo. I must have this photograph. Such a face as mine must not languish in obscurity. Alright, I'll let you know if I find it. Okay, pantry. Wait, there's a larder and a pantry? Oh, pants. Rack pants, pants on a rack, pants, pants, and more pants, 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 and... Hey, there's a pair of your size. Fancy pantry pants. One rack, many pants. Pants, pants, and yeah, more pants. Another rack, another several pairs of pants. This ghost is running around like crazy, hovering around like crazy, searching the rack of pants, or trousers if you prefer, but we say pants here in the Western Territories. He seems too preoccupied to take any notice of you. Anticipate his movements and cut him off. Outfox him. You pop up suddenly in front of the ghost just as he turns the corner. Hi! Ah, jeez, buddy, you nearly scared the death out of me. Sorry, I was just wondering what you're doing. Well, I'd have thought it'd be obvious. I'm looking for a pair of pants. But you don't have any legs. Oh, thank you for following. European dude IRK. You don't have any legs. Yes, I know. So, what do you want pants for? Nostalgia? I see. What kind of pants are you looking for? The kind without legs. Legless pants? Well, I can't wear regular pants, you know? The legs would just flop around and it'd be dumb. Guess you have a point. How'd you lose your legs anyway? Jeez. It's really embarrassing. I don't mind. Well, see, I didn't have a proper holster for my gun, so I was just carrying it tucked into my belt. Ooh. Trigger snap when you went to draw it, huh? Snag, not snap. Right, it gets worse though. I was wearing one of those gun belt slots all around for you to stick bullets in, you know? Aw, man. Oh, man. Yeah, the chain reaction blew off the entire lower half of me. Wow, so that's how you died? Yes, that is how I died. Okay, I'll keep an eye out for some legless pants for you. Thanks, I'd really appreciate it. Okay, the photograph. Let's head to the visitor center. I don't have the photo, guy. Having greeted you, he now stands perfectly silent. Let's see if the info guy has anything for me. Ask for some info. Actually, if he's just offering me hints, I'll do it without. Okay. Painting of a complicated shape. Restroom. Medicine cabinet, which is the cabinet for storing medicine. Interesting. What's inside? Old-timey ointment. Guess rich people use the bathroom one toilet at a time, just like the rest of us. Take that, irresponsible wealth. Fancy vanity, and it reminds you of your own fancy vanity. Indulge it. Try the biggest and most visible chunks of wax out of your ears. What is this? It's a normal bathtub, but the faucet is up really high and there's a curtain around it. Take the curtain. Curtains for you. Painting of some folks at a cafe back east. Guest rooms. Okay. Doors barred, therefore so are you from entering. Unbar it. The ghostly clerk hovers quickly over to you. No, dear. I'm sorry, but I can't let you do that. Why not? What's in there? Customer. He hasn't paid his bill, so I was forced to lock him in there until he does. I know that seems mean, but one has to take a firm hand with these things. How much does he owe you? 300 meat. How is he supposed to get the meat to pay you if you won't let him out? It's a fair question, dear. But that's on him, I'm afraid. Should you take 150? 150 meat and dickery. Well, I suppose it's better than the nothing I've gotten out of him. And he seems perfectly content to just stay locked in there, so alright. She unbars the door and carries the bar away. Go into the room. One of the museum employees is sitting here reading a magazine, as you can see. Congratulate him on his newfound freedom. Congratulations, I freed you! You're free! Huh? Free from what? Well, from being locked in this room with nothing to do except read that magazine. So you freed me from having an excellent excuse for not doing my crappy job. Well, you freed me from the burden of relaxing in here instead of emptying trash cans and cleaning toilets. Great. Look, you're a real hero. I could just lock the door again? No, it's too late now. I'm free. Free as the wind blows. Free as my job blows. Thank you. You're welcome. He leaves, taking the chair with him. No toilet, but at least there's a... Wait, no, there's no sink either. The mirror. You notice something stuck in your teeth. Check it out. Bookshelf, mostly full of self-help books left here by previous guests. Wealth. You're a teenager. Settling your children in 10 easy steps. Guest bed. It's like a normal bed, but with a worse mattress. Hey, somebody left their wallet in the nightstand. Table has been provided for corner brooding. Hello, dear. Welcome to my little B&B. Would you care for a room? No thanks. I won't be staying that long. Hopefully. Wait a minute. Yes? What's B&B stand for? Boom and breakfast. Okay. Yeah, that's what I was expecting. Why do you say your B&B? This isn't your house. Oh, I know, dear, but nobody was using these guest rooms, and there were ghosts hovering around with nowhere to be. I got to feeling homesick for the little B&B I used to run when I was alive. So I thought Mrs. Gunn probably wouldn't mind. I see. Fair enough. What happened to your eye? Oh, it was such a foolish accident. I had a guest I was suspicious of, a nervous, twitchy little man. I thought he might be mixed up in something bad, and one evening as I was passing by his room, I gave in to temptation and peeked in on him through the keyhole. Did you see anything? Well, only for a moment. He was cleaning a small pistol, and I suppose I must have made a noise, because he suddenly jumped and the gun went off. And it hit you? That's right, straight through the keyhole. That's how I died, in fact. Jeez, I'm sorry. Here, but it's alright. It serves me right for spying on a guest, is how I look at it. Is that what's keeping you here? Guilt? No, I think I paid quite sufficiently for that transgression. What then? Well, I don't want to go to heaven missing an eye. It wouldn't be as nice without depth perception. So you need a new eye? Yes, do you think you can help me? I'll keep an eye out. I'll see what I... 5. Okay, hold on. Door is locked. Wait for the clerk to look the other way and quietly pick the lock. Enter. Fancy new floor lamp. Nice landscape painting on the wall. Examine it. This painting of the countryside is nice, but there's nothing very interesting about it. It looks like the sort of thing you'd find hanging over the bed in a mid-priced hotel room or a bed and breakfast. Come to think of it. I guess it's a little weird that it's hanging over a stepladder instead of a bed. Maybe the last occupant was a really short art aficionado? Take a closer look. Happy little trees. Oh hey, according to the signature, this is an original Darius Klieg. Never heard of him. You know, now that you're looking closely at it, it seems like the painting is sticking out from the wall more than you would expect. Take it off the wall. Oh, what do you know? There's another painting underneath it. Painting of a safe. This house must really be old if it's got jokes of this vintage. Yeah. It's a fairly realistic painting of a wall safe. It's captioned, Ceci n'est un coffre fort. I don't. Take it off the wall. Take this wall safe painting off the wall. Behind it is, of course, a wall safe. Of course. You inspect the large safe, which is securely locked. It's probably just 0451. Yep, it sure was. Safe swings open. It's empty, aside apart from a rolled up poster of Rita Hayworth. Swell. Determined not to have gone through all this nonsense for nothing, you carefully search the empty safe. Eventually, there's a click and the back of the safe swings open, revealing a secret passage. I guess that explains the stepladder. Finally. Here's that silly secret passage you found. sewing kit. So it is. Haha, yeah, good one. I'm glad you think so. The homophonous nature of so and so certainly is right for puns, yes. Is that so? Yes, very good, very funny. Listen, are you going to eat this container or what? Why so serious? Well, you're kind of driving the joke into the ground now, and it's getting really tiresome. Really tiresome, only so. Just, come on. This is totally stop being funny. Is that so? Yes. Yes, it is. Are you just messing with me? Do you just not want what's in this? I do want it. I want it so bad. Look, Doc, you're starting to get on my nerves now. So what? So what is that there's an item in here that you need for progression, and at this point, I'm sorely tempted to not give it to you. So don't give it to me then. Oh God, just take it, okay? Take it and get the hell out of this script. Got an item, elevator button. Thank you so much. Please, just leave. This room has a bed but no door. I guess that's why they call it a bedroom and not a door room. There's some candy on the nightstand. 9 out of 10 dentists would be appalled. Take it. Sugar guns and sugar pork balls. Somewhere is bigger on the inside than it is on the outside. Go through it. Hey! No more. Perhaps a wardrobe. This is not where the wall should be. Okay, so there's 2 ways in. Into room 3. Start to open the door, but the ghostly Kirk swoops in and blocks your way. Oh, hey now. Sorry, dear, but I can't let you go wandering in there. Why not? What's in there? The tenant. They paid for the room, and they seemed rather a quiet, private sort, so I won't have you disturbing. Oh, fine. It really seems like there'd be a door here. Hello there. Are you here to laugh at me? Huh? No, not at all. I wouldn't do that. No, of course you wouldn't. Nobody ever laughs. I never made a single person laugh in my entire career. That's a left turn I wasn't expecting. What was your career? I used to design gags and novelties, but I was terrible at my job. I couldn't come up with a single novel idea. This conversation seems oddly familiar. See, even my very presence is unoriginal. You're just being too hard on yourself. I bet you invented all kinds of good stuff. My best invention was fake vomit. It looks just like fake vomit. But surprise, it's real. That was the one that got me fired. What other novelties did you invent? Well, I invented a can of mixed nuts that has a spring in it, so when you open it, the nuts sprout everywhere. That's kind of funny. Nobody would ever open the can because of how it said deadly venomous snakes on the label. Anything else? You know those flowers you wear in your lapel and it sprays water in someone's face when they smell it? You invented that? That's a classic. No, I tried to combine it with chewing gum made out of hot peppers. You invented a boutonniere that makes this people. Uh-huh. People seem to like those little sea monkey things, so I thought maybe I'd do that except funnier, and then I thought, itching powder is pretty funny. You made itching powder out of pine shrimp? No, they're aquatic, it wouldn't work. I used spider eggs. Oh my god. I tried to make an ultra-realistic stink bomb using pure methane gas. Turns out pure methane is actually odorless. That isn't why farts smell bad. Also, it's extremely flammable. Okay. Talk to him. How did you die? If you don't mind me asking. I was working on a new invention, an exploding cigar. I thought that would be pretty good. You light a cigar and it's fine for a second, but suddenly goes off with a big bang. You jump in surprise and everyone laughs off because you nearly had a heart attack. Funny, right? Sure. I had a snag in development, though. What happened? Well, I figured I'd use gunpowder for the explosives. And you can buy it already packed into these little brass cartridges, so that seemed convenient. Do you mean bullets? My first test run was a real mess, I can tell you that. I can imagine. So anyway, now I'm a failure and I'm dead. Maybe I could help you out. What do you mean? Well, your initial idea was pretty funny, I guess. It's just your execution that was the problem. Hi. Execution was the problem? Ah, you're a laugh riot. Maybe you could help me after all. See if I could figure something out for you. Give the elevator operator the button you found. She sticks it into the empty buttonhole in the elevator's control panel. Hey, thanks a ton. You sure are helpful. Doc. Well, howdy again, Doc. Which floor? Third floor. I've always hated these things. Damn, this is a nice painting. He's all ears. It looks so calm, so tame. Mr. Gunn. Mr. Gunn's manliness room. The sofa is tacky, both in terms of style and stuff that has been spilled on it. From a small bit, Mr. Gunn mostly burned garbage in this thing. It's a humidor full of cheap cigars. You've got plenty of them at this point. The guy doesn't notice you approach until you're right next to him. He yelps in surprise and drops his glass on the floor, then squints unsteadily at you. Then he takes a maraschino cherry from the bowl on the bar cart and throws it at your head. Hey, stop that! Haha. Sorry, just making sure you're not one of them ghosts. He drops another cherry into a fresh glass and pours a lot of whiskey on top of it. Are you one of the museum employees? Mm-hmm. Yep, that's me. What are you doing in here? Hiding. Buddy, I don't know if maybe you didn't notice, but this house has got ghosts in it. You don't say. Whole bunches of them all over. So I don't know about you, but I'm staying right here where it's nice and safe. Wouldn't you rather get out of here? Now all the booze, that is booze. Ah! I'm really scared of when ghosts go boo. You know, There aren't. They'll get me if I leave this room. There aren't any ghosts between this room and the exit. So you say. Said. That's what you said. They're ghosts. They could be anywhere. Except in here? Exactly. I ain't leaving without a guarantee that those ghosts won't grab me on the way out. Could disguise you. Shower. Here, look. We'll use this white shower curtain to disguise you as a ghost. They won't bother you on your way. Then they won't bother you on your way out. That's a mighty fine idea, but he tosses back his drink and pours another. But oh, eye holes. That curtain's got no eye holes for me. My eyes. I won't be able to see. I'm starting to think you don't actually want to leave. No, what to give you that idea? It's terrible in here. Shoot some holes in the curtain. Narrow your eyes at him and blast some holes in the curtain with your pistol. Okay, geez, I get the picture. He grabs an armload of bottles from the cart, pulls the shower curtain over his head, and staggers out the door. Museum employees drunk a lot of this cart's contents, but there's a few bottles left. Man leaves finest cotton candy schnapps. Weird. If you were going to commission a painting of swords, you'd think you'd at least ask for nice swords. Mr. Gunn's bowling room. Bowling is good. The poster is very clear in its artistic intent, but not very imaginative. There's a big red button on this thing. Nothing happens. This is where the bowling balls would come out if this thing was working. This bowling stuff is extremely broken. It's not supposed to be flying around even a little bit. Ashes to ashes, pins to pins. Pinomat XR86. Oh good, the XR85 was complete trash. Another whirling mass of malevolent bowling equipment. Mr. Gunn's trophy room. Wow, you hope you never meet a live duck this big. Sickening, killing a helpless sofa and stuffing its carcass as a grisly trophy. One of this moose's eyes is loose. Ha! Now it's really got its eye on you. This is just the head of a teddy bear. They didn't even remove the tag. So many polyesters die just to decorate rooms like this. These antlers are made out of paper mache, apparently by somebody who had never seen antlers before. A whole rack of bowling trophies. If they were billiards trophies, there'd be an easier pun to make. There's goblin head mounted like a trophy on the wall. This would be positively barbaric, if not for the fact that the goblin seems pretty okay with it. Ooh! Pretty good I am to getting you, huh, human? Wow. Yes, very much to getting me. Nice. What did happening to you? Did Mr. Gun hunting you and to cutting head off? No, Mr. Gun, a good human man, is being very friends. Inside one of his bowling ball bags, my spores are growing, only headroom. Mr. Gun to finding me and hanging me up here, for to chatting with. Great guy. Wow, weird. You can tell this is fake because it isn't floating around the room setting stuff on fire. This is just a photograph of a fish. Mr. Gun was apparently really liberal with his definition of trophy. This ghost is dressed up as a traditional safari hunter with a pith helmet and big white mustache, and those weird khaki trousers that make it look like your butt has wings. He's suspecting Mr. Gun's trophy collection, but doesn't seem particularly impressed. Hold on. Another drink. My throat is super dry. Hi, I'm Docker. Oh, charmed, I'm sure. Lord Euston Kempton at your service. What happened to you, if you don't mind my asking? Not at all, not at all. Which isn't a very exciting story, what? I was hunting lions on the plains with a sparing Getty, and one of the blighters got the better of me. Wow, you were eaten by a lion? That sounds pretty exciting to me. Yes, well, not eaten as such. Sneaky bugger crept into camp and pushed a stack of ammunition crates over on me. Oh, maybe I can help you? Help me do what? Well, help you with whatever's keeping you as a ghost. Though now that I say it, I guess there isn't much I can do to help you get revenge on that lion. Oh, no. It isn't revenge that's keeping me here. Go for that lion, I say. Turnabout is fair play and all that, what? Though I do wish he'd done it in a manner that made for a better story. So, why are you a ghost, then? It's because of my one true regret. I never faced the most dangerous game. I am definitely not going to help you hunt people. What? No. The most dangerous board game. Nobody was ever willing to play against me. A bally shame, or what? What's the game? It leads you over to a small table on which is laid out a board of alternating red and black squares with little wooden discs painted red and black as well. Checkers? Checkers jumps and scatters. The ghost stabs two large hunting knives into the center of the board. Knife checkers. What are the rules? Do you know how to play checkers? Yes. Do you know how to stab someone in the hand with a knife? Yes. That's all you need to know, really. Alright, I'll play. You yank one of the knives out of the board, and Lord Houston instructs you to hold it left-handed. The rules are, you may only attack your opponent's hands, and only when they are over the board. Displaced checkers are played from where they land, but attacking the board directly is a foul, which awards the opponent a stab-free turn. It appears to be primarily a game of concentration, quick movements, and feinting. Play aggressively. You start out the game by attacking quickly and fiercely to establish dominance and keep your opponent from developing his pieces. This strategy is somewhat effective. Lord Houston doesn't scare easily, and he manages to feint a few pieces past your guard. You enter the mid-game more or less evenly matched. Play intelligently. In the mid-game, you focus more on the checkers than on your knife work, maneuvering into position for some big gains in the long term. You suffer a few minor nicks and cuts, but are well positioned for the endgame. Play craftily. Lord Houston spots a hole in your defenses. He feints left, and quickly slides one of his pieces into the gap, and into your trap. This moves his hand into just the position you need to attack it with a hard downward stab. He easily yanks his hand out of the way, and your knife hits one of the pieces on its edge, flipping it across the board to land neatly in his back ring. King me. I say. It's a foul to attack the board. Sure, but I wasn't, was I? I attacked your hand, and you dodged. That's all. You sneaky blighter. Play continues, but with a king behind Lord Euston's lines, you clean up fairly quickly. All right, lad. Concede. Marvelous play, what? Well done. He gives you a smart salute and fades away into nothingness. Whew. Alright, let's go take care of the, You got a question? Go ahead. You don't need my permission to ask a question. Hello again, dear. Were you able to find me a new eye? I did read a few bits of Next Mex. Alice started to get mad, and then I stopped. Yes, kind of. How kind. Thank you very much. She takes the glass eye from you and puts it in, whereupon it falls through her and onto the floor. She touches a little. As she touches, she picks it up. Oh dear, it's a little too physical. Yeah, I wasn't certain this would work. Don't worry, this is easily fixed. Do you have a hammer I could borrow? A hammer? Yes. That'll do nicely, thank you. She takes the hammer, places the glass eye on her desk, and smashes it with a precise crack. Ah, perfect. She gives you back the hammer and plucks the ghost of the glass eye from the shattered fragments. After blowing the dust off of it, she tucks it into her eye socket. That fits much better. Does it work? Well, now that you mention it, I can't actually see with it. It is the ghost of a glass eye, after all. Oh dear, this won't do at all. What a shame. You know, I don't really understand why your eye is still missing. What do you mean? Well, I always assume when someone loses an arm or something, it just sticks around as an arm ghost. That's why people say they can feel itchy sometimes, because you've still got an arm there, but it's a ghost. It's even called phantom limb syndrome. So logically, if the rest of you becomes a ghost after that, it would hook right back up. But then, where did my eye go? Maybe it got pushed into the back inside your head? The ghost thinks about this for a second, then shakes her head. No, that seems... Wait. What? I do think I felt something just then. She shakes her head again. My goodness gracious. Oh, God. Keep going. It's like one of those puzzles where you try to get the marble in the hole. She bends her head forward and continues shaking it. You can almost hear a faint rattling sound, and then up. Plop. She straightens back up, blinking with two eyes. You did it. Well, I'll be. Thank you so much, dear. I never would have thought of that. No problem. Have a nice time at heaven or wherever. The ghost gives you a friendly wave and fades out of sight. Oh, that's that then. Alright, so that's 3 ghosts taken care of. Oh, I have a cigar. Let me see. Okay. Check out the rest of the 3rd floor. Yeah, I probably need some gunpowder of some kind. This end table bears the scars of many uncoastered beverages. Looks comfy, too bad you're too busy to sit down. A rack of billiards cues. Grab one. You inspect them and take the best one, which isn't saying much. You got an item. Wobbly billiards cue. There's a spittoon here. A bright, shiny, beautiful spittoon. Gimme, gimme, gimme! Oh boy. Oh yeah. Come to Papa. What are you doing? Huh? Nothing. What are you doing? Looking at someone who's kneeling next to a spittoon with the apparent intention of sticking his whole entire face inside it. Dive in. You jam your hand in the spittoon up to the shoulder and find nothing. The brass bucket is shiny and clean, outside and in. Clean as the day it was born. The museum staff must have washed it. It looks brand new. Are you crying? No, I'm fine. You're crying. Okay, well, I'll just be over here whenever you're done lying on the ground in a fetal position and hugging a spittoon. Fine. This is both the biggest and dumbest poster you've ever seen. There's a trapdoor on the ceiling over here. Too bad you aren't like 11 feet tall. Hey there, how's it going? I ain't interested in chit-chat, fella. Just billiards. Step up or shut up. Challenge him to a game. Pull out your cue, and the ghost nods and racks the balls. Utterly trounces you. You just can't seem to make the balls go where you intended. That was as sad a showing as I've ever seen. Let me see that cue. Yeah, that's your problem. This thing's about as straight as a banker's handshake. What? You're gonna need to lay this back to true if you want a chance against me. Lave? Okay, basement it is. You got the right size tin can. You also need some stuffing to pat out the inside of the can. It's gonna be tricky to find. Oh, there was a lathe around here somewhere. It's the bismuth bench. Oh, right. Now I remember where the lathe is. It's a lathe. Hey, maybe you could make that billiards cue less wobbly. Give it a shot. Lathe, rinse and repeat until the cue is fixed. Oh wait, let's see if the photo guy has come back yet. Oh, it's you, my hero and savior. The guy from the bar cart is leaning heavily against a display of shot glasses with different names etched onto them. The sign on the display reads personalized shot glasses, 600 meat. The guy picks up a bottle stashed behind the display and fills a shot glass labeled Joe. Is that your name, Joe? The guy squints at the shot glass. Sure. He knocks back the shot and tosses the glass over his shoulder before picking up and filling another one. Now it's Emmett. Newfangled electric intercom system. Intercom is making an annoying humming and crackling noise. Press the talk button. Hello? Hell. Ghost just said hell at me. Spooky. I'm pretty sure it's not a ghost. The intercom's just busted. Hello? Just hello? Who's Mrs. Gunn? No, Miss. Oh man, that would have been a pretty good joke if the intercom wasn't broken. Would it? Challenge him to a game. Pull out your cue and the ghost nods and reacts to the balls. He proceeds to crush you. Something feels wrong, like the cue isn't connecting with the ball properly. The ghost shakes his head at you. Totally new to this, ain't you? You gotta chalk your cue. Chalk? Can I borrow yours? Mine's ghost chalk. Wouldn't work. Dang it. Woman doesn't seem to be interested in anything other than cranking that hurdy-gurdy. Disconnect the crank. You definitely disconnect the crank from the hurdy-gurdy without alerting the woman's attention. But it turns out you needn't to bother. She continues to turn the crank blade high, even with nothing attached. You grab the end of the crank and pull her very slowly to the gift shop, where you find a Victrola to plug her into. Problem solved? That lady here to crank it. The hurdy-gurdy is neither hurting nor girding. This is a bassoon. And you know what they say, it makes an ass out of N and what? Ooh, ah! A musty, decaying pile of old music books. Face them. Almost all of the books are dry rotted and moth-eaten and fall apart of the touch. You do find a copy of Dueling Banjos in reasonable shape, though. This is a book of sheet music for the classic song Dueling Banjos. There's a library call number written on the spine. There's some sheet music on the piano. Weird, it's blank. Got to play Dueling Banjos. Can't play dueling banjos by myself. I don't have enough arms. Horns? It's alright. I only play the bagpipe, not very well. It's a bagpipe, how do you know? And how about you, Alice? No thanks, I'm busy. Doing what? Drinking. While not playing the piano. You guys are no fun. This is the ghost of an orchestra conductor, unless he's a ghost of someone pretending to be an orchestra conductor. Either he's very agitated about something, or he's conducting the flight of the bumblebee. Try talking to him. Sorry to interrupt, but I can't actually hear the music. What are you conducting? It is the finality of the year 1812 Solemn Overture by Tchaikovsky. Oh, the 1812 Overture. Sure, that would have been my second guess. Is your orchestra like double ghosts or something? What? Ah, I see. No, there is no orchestra. I merely have this piece of music irrevocably lodged in my head. It's been nagging at me incessantly ever since my death. Asking about his death. This is just a guess, but did you die during a performance of the 1812 Overture? That is correct, yes. Very astute of you. The finality of that piece features real actual cannons, right? Is that how you died? If it was my fate to be slain by a piece of music, cannons would have been far preferable to my utterly farcical demise. What happened? The overture requires several cannons because it is impossible to load a single cannon quickly enough to fire as the score demands. However, the stage we were performing on could not have borne the weight. What did you do? I was not informed of the difficulty until it was far too late to make any changes. It transpired that the stage manager decided it would be sufficient to give a box of bullets to the tuba player. You were shot by a tuba? I was shot, as you say, by a tuba. Wow, no wonder you ended up as a ghost. Oh, it isn't the ridiculousness of my death that troubles me, really. Accidents happen, as with any of the performing arts. A colleague of mine was decapitated by an errant cymbal during a performance of Paganini's Violin Concerto No. 1. Such are the risks we take for our art. Gosh. The problem is that the 1812 Overture's finale is a very dramatic and energetic piece. With the music constantly replaying itself in my head, I have been utterly unable to find any peace. I'll see if I can think of a way to help. Kids' rooms. Wow, that music is creepy. Looks like this is where the creepy music is coming from. Transcribe it. Write down all the spooky notes you get on it. Spooky lullaby sheet music. It's full of baby supplies you don't understand, like nursing diapers and burping scissors. Composition of this painting is bad in every way. This teddy bear has been comprehensively and enthusiastically disemboweled. Oh, hey. The stuffing will be perfect for making a silenter. Sorry, Teddy, this is for the greater good. Play the lullaby. Hey! Well now, that was nice. It's a toy box. Who knows what horrors it contains? Let's find out. Stuffed gun. Huh. Less macabre than you were expecting. One blocks with letters on them. Play with them. Ooh! Ah! It's those scary blocks. This is more of a 3.5 post for bed. This little ghost girl is serving imaginary tea to her guests. The doll, while terrifying, is largely indifferent. The museum employee, on the other hand, is playing along with a rictus grin on his face. The little girl wears an annoyed and disappointed frown. Hello there, my name's Doc. Can I join your tea party? If you want, I guess, but it's a terrible tea party. Oh, what's wrong? You aren't having any fun? All I have is dumb, made-up tea. I want a proper tea party, like Mama took me to. Tell me more about that party. We went to a real tea room. It was so pretty. There were vases with flowers in them, and everyone was all dressed up in suits and pretty dresses. And there were white china cups for the tea. Real tea, not imaginary. Well, that sounds very nice. It was. I was so nice, and everyone was so polite and charming and elegant. Well, until the fight started anyway. Uh-oh, there was a fight? Well, two of the gentlemen there got into an argument. I don't know what it was about, but I guess one said something the other one didn't like, and he was so insulted he threw his tea right in the first man's face. And then they took out guns and started shooting at each other right there in the tea room. Whoa! They were still really elegant, though. They had little silver and ivory pistols, and they kept their pinkies out the whole time. Anyway, I don't remember the rest very well, except one of them missed the other and shot me by mistake. I'm so sorry. Thanks, but it's alright. Heaven's supposed to be really nice, so I guess I don't mind so much. But I didn't get to finish my tea party, so I want to have another one before I go, except that I don't have any tea, and make-believe tea isn't any fun anymore. Okay, I'll see if I can find some actual tea for you. The guy has a smile frozen on his face and his eyes dart around in panic as he pretends to sip tea. One eye twitches as he tries to whisper you out of the corner of his mouth. What's that? A drop of sweat rolls down his brow and he stares at the little ghost, who doesn't seem to have noticed. Still not getting it. Can you speak up? His hands are shaking, as if he were holding an actual teacup. It probably would have shattered by now. He hisses as you through clenched teeth. Sorry, I can't understand you. Bye. It's a blank chalkboard. Write something. You monster! Why would you write that? You should really make sure that never happens to anybody again. Chalk. You look at the board and shudder, and then take the chalk. It's a doll mine. How adorable. Just look at all the little miners and minecarts and mine shafts and bowls of minestrone. What's this? There's a tiny stick of dynamite stuck in a little borehole. This toy's interactive. This is a much nicer vanity than that of the average Frontier teen. Dust yourself up a little. You use the various powders and creams and pomades to make yourself slightly more presentable. Daniel Boone poster, one corner is loose. See what's behind it. There's a plaid skirt in here. That's sort of like legless pants. Worth a try. Looks like someone forgot a book under the bed. Take a look. The title is Fun Law, Rules for 71 Parlor Games and Assorted Amusements for Children. What is this devil's music? Turn it off. You yank the needle away from the cylinder and hide the handle away. Place the needle on the cylinder and crank the handle vigorously. Science stuff. Someone has been slacking on their geometry homework. Do it for them. You decide to just take the book with you and do the assignment later. Chalk up your cue and the ghost racks the balls. It's a close match. You have to consult that geometry book a few times just to work out all the angles. The game comes down to a fight for the 8-ball, and you manage to barely squeak out the win when the ghost catches an unlucky bounce off the corner of the pocket. Well, shucks. Nice shooting, Tex. He flips you a finger gun salute, winks, and fades into nothingness. Alright, how many ghosts are left? 8 ghosts left. Pantry. Still can't find any legless pants. Have you come across any? How about this skirt? Look, I understand that genderization of clothing maybe shouldn't be a thing, but I'm kind of old-fashioned. Did I say skirt? I meant kilt. What's a kilt? It's a special kind of foreign legless pants. Here, for men. Here, try it. The ghost tries on the skirt. Kilt. Hey, that's really nice. Thanks a lot. With this pants problem solved, he dissipates into the ether. Good luck. Wait a second, what if you stuck this into one of those cigars you found? You poke a hole in the tip of the cigar and insert the dynamite. Found something for you. Holy cow, counterclockwise phase inversion coil. I've been looking all over for one of these. Florence attaches one of the science doohickeys you gave her to her weird gun. New skill, Science Blast. I think this is what you're looking for. That's the exploding cigar? Yep, sometimes a cigar is just a cigar, but not this time. What'd you use for the explosive? I found a really small firecracker. Just big enough to blow up the cigar without also blowing up someone's face. Also without the, violent lead projectile. See ya, European dude. You're a genius. Please let me see it in action so I can finally rest. Light it up. Bye, Mr. Ghost. Hey. What's your problem anyway? Gun law. I found a book and thought you might want it back. Thank you. Shuffle the wood. Number on the spine will lead you to its proper location. You have 2 books you can put back. Fun Law and Dueling Banjos. They go on different shelves, so you can't do them both at once. Find the shelf where Fun Law belongs and put it back. The next book on the shelf is titled Gun Law, which might be even more entertaining. We'll definitely give this a shot. You find the shelf where Dueling Banjos belongs and put it back. The previous book on the shelf is titled Duel Law, which seems to be about the legal issues surrounding dueling. Never know when that might come in handy. Duly noted. Okay, gun law. You learn basically everything there is to know about gun law. Now you can be the prosecuting attorney and defense counsel in addition to judge, jury, and executioner. After that, you take the book back to the library, return to its shelf, and walk back to where you were previously. Time to dispense some justice. You learn about all of the laws pertaining to dueling. Turns out when 2 guys want to murder each other in a fair and reasonable manner, things get legally tricky. You take the book back to the library, return to yourself, and walk back to where you were previously. Cool. In fact, I think you'll find I'm quite conversant in the finer points of our justice system, particularly as it pertains to guns and gun-related activity. Horseradish, you're all trousers and no briefs. Oh yeah? Well, just try me, smart lady. Fine, obviously you aren't going to leave me alone, so just ask your questions. I'm Doc Earp. Speaking for the record, state your name, occupation, cause of death. Felicity Wainwright, defense attorney, lost to court-approved trial by combat. What? Trial by combat has been outlawed for like 15 years. You do understand that ghosts don't visually age as time passes, right? Oh. Right. So your client called for a trial by combat, which meant you and the prosecutor had to face off in a duel? That's correct. And you lost? Squints at you. Are you acting dumb to try and throw me off guard? I withdraw the question. Why are you stuck as a ghost? because although trial by combat was already well out of fashion at the time, it was still a valid legal recourse. I should have been prepared for the possibility, but I wasn't. My lack of training resulted in an innocent man being executed for murder. Ooh, how was he executed? Hanging, I assume. Obviously, I wasn't around to see it. So to release you, I need to prove that the loss wasn't your fault. The trial duel was completely fair and above board. There was no chance of there having been foul play on the prosecutor's part. My loss was my own. Then I'd have to prove your client was actually guilty, and therefore your feelings of responsibility are misplaced. The look she gives you is hard and cold. Look, you think you know a thing or two about the law? How about you tell me the first rule of being a defense attorney? You don't refer to his gavel as a weird little hammer. You have to trust and believe in your client. If you don't believe your client is innocent, you'll never convince anyone else he is either. So if I want to convince you he was guilty, you'll have an uphill fight, fella. You are essentially playing prosecutor here. Alright, tell me about the case. My defendant was Matthew Guilty McCready, accused of the murder of Vic Timsbury at noon on June 18, 1878 in Reno. I have some questions. Go ahead. Your client was actually named guilty? Come on. Your client was actually named guilty. Names don't mean anything. I once had a client named Ike the guy, and he was totally innocent. For someone's actual legal name, sure. The nicknames are usually given with some sort of basis. You've never met a really tall guy named Tiny, or a fat guy called Slim. Arguably, the nickname Guilty would reinforce my client's innocence. That's totally absurd, but I'll let her rest for now. What was the cause of death? Timsbury was shot through the heart with a .45 caliber revolver. And did McCready own such a gun? Yes, he was holding it at the time, and subsequent examination showed that it had been recently fired. Are you messing with me? Any further questions? Yes, I do have some more questions. Yeah, go ahead. This is that new precisely? Yes, that was confirmed by witnesses. Also, McCready owned a fancy pocket watch that chimed on the hours. There were witnesses? About a half dozen of them. I'm pretty sure there's something you aren't telling me. I'm not obligated to play my hand face up, Mr. Prosecutor. Okay then. Hang on a second. Shot with a pistol in front of witnesses at noon, exactly noon. Was this a duel? So you can add 2 + 2 after all. Well done. Well, as luck would have it, I've just recently read a whole book about dual law. What? Why? No reason. I just happened across it in the library and thought it might be interesting. You read an entire code of law you found at random just for the heck of it? Yep. So let me just do a quick review. A duel is legal provided it's between exactly 2 people at a specified prearranged time and place using the same or at least essentially similar weapons. They have to either face each other down and quick draw at the appointed moment or do the 10 paces turn and fire routine. Is that right? That's the gist of it, yes. So I guess let's start with you telling me the facts of the case, and I'll interrupt you rudely if I have any questions. Alright, but if you push me on trivial nonsense, I'll get mad and you'll have to start over. That seems fair. Go ahead. McCready and Timsbury got into an argument in a saloon on the evening of June 17th. Apparently, Timsbury accused McCready of cheating at poker. Go on. The bartender yelled at them to take it outside, but since it was dark out, they agreed to meet for a duel the next day. And that would be the 18th, you said. Yes, June 18th, 1878. Okay, go on. Well, the next day, they both showed up shortly before noon, squared off about 30 feet from each other. When noon struck, McCready fired, fast enough that Timsbury didn't get his shot off, on account of having his head shot off. That's pretty much the long and short of it. I'm gonna have to ask you for some more details on that. What weapons were they using? McCready had a .45 caliber single-action army revolver. Timsbury had an older model 36 caliber cap and ball Navy revolver, which he loaded with paper cartridges instead of packing the gunpowder by hand. Objection! Those are significantly different weapons. Are you kidding me? They're both pistols. A modern cartridge revolver versus an antique cap and ball loader? Ridiculous. That antique was in production until 1873 and was considered one of the most reliable and popular 6-shooters in the territories. Furthermore, the restriction against differing weapons in a duel is about pistols versus rifles, or the proverbial knife in a gunfight, or, as a more recent example, a nitwit trying to argue the law against a professional attorney. Geez, that's a bit harsh. We're done here. Get out. She shoves you out of the gallery and slams the door. Rats. Ghost fixes you with a steely glare, preparing to argue with you some more. Alright. Okay. He fired exactly at noon. Yes, as soon as the church bells started ringing. You also mentioned McCrady's pocket watch. Yes, he had a fancy pocket watch that chimed on the hour. Is that important for some reason? I guess not. Let me ask something else. He said there were witnesses, about a half dozen of them, watching from across the street with peeking through half-open shutters. Were they interviewed? Yes, and their stories lined up with what I just told you. Were any of them known associates of McCready? I'm not aware of any of them being actual friends with McCready, but he was a local and a lot of people knew him. Gives you a suspicious look. Wait a minute, just where you were going with objection! Oh, come on. Any one of those people could have interceded on McCrady's behalf. What and done what exactly? Well, they could have shot Tim's field with a more accurate weapon, like a rifle, or then there would have been 2 gunshots instead of just 1. Or are you suggesting they shot him with a poison blowgun dart? Well, was he tested for poison? Get out. Let's go. Okay. Tell me more about the argument. There isn't much to tell. The other players in the game had already folded their hands in that round, so they weren't paying very close attention. All we know is that Timsbury suddenly accused McCready of being a dirty, cheating varmint, and McCready said Timsbury was just sore because he'd been losing all night. Didn't McCready have a history of cheating? He's been accused of it once or twice before, but Reno's a gambling town, and he hung out in the rough part of it. Getting accused of cheating by a sore loser when on your lucky streak is par for the course. What was the name of the saloon? Two-Headed Horse. Weird. They have one? No. I think the proprietor was going for a sort of double entendre, but it doesn't really work. Huh. No, it really doesn't. Two-Headed Spider, maybe, but anyway, do you have other questions, or can we get on with this? What day of the week was this? Monday, June 17th, 1878. Well, that makes sense. Everyone's always a bit grumpy on a Monday. Uh-huh. That should make the weekend Sunday. They should make the weekend Sunday and Monday instead. Then you could spend Monday relaxing instead of having to go to work. Then, whatever. Do you have any other questions? I want to ask something else. What happened next? The bartender yelled at them to take it outside, but says it was dark out. They agreed to meet for duel the next day. That would be the 18th, you said? Did they set a specific time for the duel? Yes, high noon. Figures. Why is it always high noon? Tradition, I suppose, since the sun is at its highest in the sky, everything's brightly lit and there aren't many shadows. That's good for gunfighting. Makes sense? Plus, you can have your duel on your lunch break. Why didn't they just fight right then? Because it was dark. You can't have a gunfight in the dark. No, I get that, but they could have just had a regular old fist fight. They were mad enough to shoot each other to death, but not to punch each other? Well, without getting too psychoanalytical, these guys weren't gunfighters. I mean, they counted that as a significant part of their identity. Fighting without guns was just not outside their wheelhouse. They considered it a waste of their time and talents, like asking a fancy French chef to make you a grilled cheese sandwich. Why didn't they just not fight? What? Well, a fight breaks out in the heat of the moment, that's one thing. But they cool off enough to schedule a meeting for the next day and still go through with it? Card game is a heck of a thing to get killed over. Another thing, I suppose, that and they were each confident that they wouldn't be the one getting killed. Yes, it's dumb, but it's also extremely immaterial. Toxic definitions of masculinity and the general lawlessness of the frontier are not what's on trial here. Okay. What weapons were they using? Fired exactly at noon. So McCready fired as soon as the church bell struck noon? Yes, that is what I just said. Have you got a point to make, or are you just stalling for time to think? Objection! Now, what the heck? McCready fired at the wrong time. What are you talking about? He fired exactly at noon with the church bells. There were witnesses. That's right. He fired at clock at noon. It was set for high noon. They aren't the same thing. High noon is just when the sun is at its highest point in the sky. Depending on geography and the time of year, it could be hours different from clock at noon. McCready fired early, and that makes the duel illegal. So what do you say to that, counselor? Felicity gives you a slow smile. I've got to hand it to you, Professor. You're a lot better at this than I was giving you credit for. It's a good thought you had there. There's just one problem with it. Oh, what's that? I already thought it. Take that! He hurls a small book at you, which you can just barely manage to catch. 1878 Nautical Almanac. Ah, what the heck is this? I did my homework when I was prepared for that trial. My legal homework. Since at the time I expected there to be an actual trial, not a gunfight. What you're holding there is a nautical almanac for the year 1878. There are bookmarks if you'd like to do the math yourself, but if you look up solar noon, aka high noon, June the 18th, and make the adjustment for Reno's longitude, what do you think you get? You have got to be kidding me. That's right, Mr. Prosecutor. 12 o'clock p.m. Precisely. No! Well, damn. Nice try, though. I meant that sincerely. That's all my ammo. I can't think of any other way to disprove McCready's innocence. As far as I could see, it was a fair duel. Yes, and that's me with the guilt of an innocent man's death on my hands. Innocent man's death? You sure are good at repeating things people say. What if he didn't die? Say what now? Say what now? Well, you didn't actually see the execution, right? Yes, well, I was indisposed, you might say, being dead and all. So you don't actually know whether or not it happened. Oh, come on. Look, I appreciate the effort, but you're barking at the moon. Okay. Let me ask you something. What can you tell me about McCready? He was a gunfighter through and through, and by that I mean he was an adrenaline addict. Dueling was his needle of choice. Hell, if you told me you had evidence that he cheated at poker with the specific intent of baiting people into jumping into duels, I wouldn't be the least bit surprised. He was a sly one. Her expression softens and she sighs. That make him sound like a real devil. That's not fair. He was smart and charming and could have been a good man if he'd chosen an entirely different life for himself. Anything else? Well, I recall he had a real good head for numbers. He told me that he never forgot a date and every man he'd ever killed. He'd remember to pour a beer on their grave on their birthday. Oh, that's nice. Nice birthday present. Would have been not having killed him in the first place, of course. Yep. Why did he invoke trial by combat? Assuming he was innocent, why would McCready invoke trial by combat? His case was pretty straightforward. The duel only worsened his odds. I was mighty surprised, let me tell you. The only thing I could figure is it was his damn fool sense of gunfighter's pride or something. Like that was the only form of justice he was willing to submit himself to. I have another question. Was the trial right after the duel, the 19th? No, I don't know what Reno's like, but it didn't have a proper courthouse then. Reno's like now, but it didn't have a proper courthouse then. You can't try a murder charge in the sheriff's front parlor. McCready sat in jail for a couple weeks, and then they transported him to Frisco. What with one thing and another, the trial didn't start until July 25th. Geez, so much for the right to a speedy trial. Wheels grind slow. When was the execution? Well, we held the trial by combat on the 26th, and that was a Friday. They don't execute prisoners on the weekend, so presumably it would have been the following Monday, 29th. In the morning? Well, with setting up the gallows and letting a crowd gather, they usually happen in the afternoon, around 3, typically. I'll be back. I may need to do some research. for a book on a specific topic. I'm afraid her car catalog is out being reorganized. Someone sorted all the cars by call number instead of by title or author. It made it quite useless. You'll have to search the stacks manually. How do I get started? Find a book on a similar topic to what you're looking for. Its call number will direct you to another book. Other books on that topic. Crazy. To repel both a salad and a balloon. Huh. Door's locked and no earthly force can open it. Well, maybe hold in the forces, but good luck getting them up the elevator. Knock, knock. Yes, who is it? Mrs. Gunn? I'm Doc Erb. Are you with the Ghost Extermination people? Yes, ma'am. Florence Cunningham, Cunningham Ghost Annihilation Services. Doc is my assistant. I'm what? Who's the county licensed ghost hunter here? Me or you? Okay, fine. Yes. Have you been able to exterminate all the ghosts? I still feel haunted. 6 of them left, according to the scanner. We're still working on it, ma'am. Don't worry. You can count on us. All right, please let me know when you're finished. Will do, ma'am. Okay. Wait a second. When did you say he died? Monday the 29th, July 29th. Got it. That was when McCready was going to be executed. Let's see. Wow, wait a minute. According to this, there was a total eclipse of the sun that day. Centered right over the Western Territories, and with its totality at 2:47 p.m. That's a hell of a thing. Hey. Okay, rich folks should have strange taste in art. It's a sofa with some nice throw pillows on it. Smother the chili with a pillow. Sign, do what has to be done. Chili seemed to store lace. Muerto. Okay. Okay, I've euthanized your chili. Here you go. You hand the ghostly bowl of chili and he immediately gobbles it up. With a long, finally satisfied sigh, he dissipates. Never trails, big guy. What were you even... Thank you so much for dealing with that ghost. I am exhausted. What were you even doing? Yep, demanding ghost food, but I don't really know how to cook. Except like nachos and popcorn, just the regular kind, not ghost nachos and popcorn. And just the but he was really insistent, so I figured ghost food is probably invisible, right? So I just pretended to give him empty plates. Guess it worked, even though that doesn't really make any sense. Huh. Anyway, thanks again. I work at the snack bar in the visitor center, so I'll see you around there. Okay. 5 ghosts. Wait a second. Deep fried holster. Let me try something. It says damn, but that's okay because you're wearing it ironically. Okay. Make a silencer. Drill a hole in each end of the cannon, carefully remove the beans. Use soak the stuffing in a vat of acoustic damping chemicals and jam it into the pan. Voila! Can of stuffing designed to make it much easier for you to shoot people Thanksgiving dinner without getting caught. Ooh! Found an old photo that actually looks like you. Here, marvelous with the resemblance. Yeah, it's a pretty decent pic. Good light travels faster than bullets. Now my image will not be lost to the ravages of time. Merci beaucoup, my friend. He hangs the photo on the wall and dissipates into nothingness. Auf Wiedersehen. Okay. Okay, 2 on the second floor. Okay. Library ghost. So do I get to shoot this one? Shh. He's gonna shoot this one. That's pretty loud. I could just hit her with it. Oh. Yes, what can I do for you this time? Hey, look, I invented this. Hey, look, shh, I'm gonna tell you. I made this thing that makes guns really quiet. Oh, wow, marvelous. Finally, I could rest in peace knowing that libraries will now be safe from the noise of gunfire. There's only in an atmosphere of quiet that true joy dare live. Bustle. She dissipates into nothingness. He isn't famous yet. Oh, whatever. Hey. I looked up July 29th in your almanac. Get this, there was a total eclipse of the sun that day. What? Now you're just messing with me. No, look for yourself. Totality at 2:47 p.m. right over the Western Territories. Well, that's quite a thing, but I don't see how that affects... Wait, unless you're suggesting... Right! It was the perfect opportunity for McCready to escape. That's absurd. Absurd like a fox. You said yourself that McCready was really good at remembering dates. He could have read about the eclipse at any time and stored that knowledge away for future use. Like to give himself an advantage in a duel or something. Alright, that's reasonable as far as it goes, but McCready couldn't have worked the eclipse into an escape plan because he didn't have any say over the court schedule. You said, what with one thing and another, the trial didn't start until July 25th. McCready could have caused any number of those delays himself, by faking illness in prison or messing with the horses on the ride to Frisco or anything. This could also explain the trial by combat. You mean there ended up being too much delay, so if a regular trial went on too long and he was found guilty, he'd have missed the eclipse? Exactly, whereas if he called for trial by combat, everything would be resolved one way or the other in only one more day. Maybe you'd win and that'd be fine, but if you lost, he could use his escape plan. I have to admit, this is pretty compelling, but it's all maybes and what-ifs. Yeah, maybe it happened, but maybe McCready was rescued by leprechauns. Oh man, are there leprechauns in Frisco? You just need some kind of hard evidence, or this is any more than just a fun story, is what I mean. How can I find evidence of McCready's escape? Well, we don't know that an escape even happened. True. Something like that would have been in the news, for certain. Yeah, I'll see what I can find. up news in the dictionary. Mimic a harpsichord and cider, mince a harpsichord and cider radish. Find a few bundles of old newspapers at the bottom of one shelf. The Frisco Newsinator. Start at the bottom of the week and flip through them until you find the paper for the week of July 28th through August 3rd, 1878. The main feature has to do with the eclipse and various accidents. Spectacles that occurred because most people weren't expecting it. The editor apologized for burying the announcement in the previous week's weather forecast. Most notably, all 3 men scheduled to be hanged on the 29th escaped in the confusion, and only 2 of them were recaptured. Unfortunately, their names weren't given. Keep looking. You don't find anything else relevant to the case. However, as you're putting the papers back in order on the shelf, a headline on a more recent issue catches your eye. Husband of famous inventor missing. The article is light on information, but apparently Mrs. Gunn's husband, Dan, vanished on the road 6 years ago while traveling to Dirtwater. Mrs. Gunn's husband, Dan, vanished on the road while traveling to Dirtwater on business about 6 years ago. Law enforcement suspected bandits, but no evidence was found. That's kind of grim. Okay. I got that guy away from the bar cart, in case you want to raid it. It'd be unethical to steal expensive bourbon from Mrs. Gunn's house, even if she could plainly afford it. I wouldn't want you to see me setting such a bad example. Oh, okay. That was a hint. Oh, well, I'll just be in the next room if you need anything. Found a newspaper article. The guy scheduled to be executed the day the eclipse escaped, and one of them was never caught. Which one? Well, didn't say, did it? Nope, damn it. The executed criminals aren't given gravestones with their names on them. So you can't just go looking around Frisco Cemetery to find out. Listen, Doc, I really appreciate what you're trying to do. At this point, you would have to actually find McCready himself to prove he wasn't executed due to my failure. I guess that's what I'll do then. Okay. What can you tell me about Mrs. Gunn's family? Well, let's see. She married Dan's staple remover in 1875. He was the inventor of the staple remover. Did you know that? They met at an inventors convention 3 years previously. Dan decided to take her last name because he'd always wanted to call his invention Office Chompers, and he was always a little annoyed that people called it after him instead. They had 3 daughters named Dorothy, Blanche, and Rose. That's nice. Fortunately, Dan vanished mysteriously in 1889, shortly after Rose was born. Nobody knows what happened to him, although it's generally assumed he was killed by bandits while he was on the road for gun industry's business. Then all 3 of the girls went missing the year after. They went to summer camp and were just never heard from again. No ransom note or anything. Mrs. Gunn was never the same after that, naturally. She started blaming it on ghosts, but as far as I know, there's been no ghost activity here. So just the other day. Anything else you'd like to know about? Rock. What can you tell me about rocks? Great, I know a ton of stuff about rocks now, specifically igneous rocks, granite in particular. Did you know that geologists call granite massive because it doesn't have any internal structures, and also because it comes in great big lumps? I did not know that. Hi. Hey, thanks again for rescuing me from that hedge maze. Hello. Either I never asked you what you do here, or I've already forgotten. Run this token smashing machine. If you buy one of the commemorative tokens from that other machine over there, I can put it in this machine here to roll it out flat. Well, flatter. And stamp it with your logo on one side and a fun picture on the other. An interesting one? Sure. Great, I love running this thing. What picture do you want on it? Magical rifle. Great, it has little sparklies around it. That's how you know it's magical. Probably also shoots beans, but that isn't in the picture. Takes your token, puts it in the machine, and happily turns the crank. Makes a loud grinding noise, and your token drops out into a slot somewhat longer and thinner. Thanks. Now I'm good. Okay, let me try. Buy a shot glass. Give the guy 600 meat and fish around the display until you find one with your name on it. Oh. That shotgun. Nice, it's one of Mrs. Gunn's loudest inventions, you know. Cool pistol. Someday it'll make a lot of people uncomfortable if you tell them you think pistols are cool, but not here in 1895. Ha ha. Mrs. Gunn's family? Oh, that's right. Gun Manor? Isn't it amazing? Mrs. Gunn had it built in the late 70s when she and her husband decided to start a family. It was finished in 1877. It has 8 bedrooms and 1 bathroom, plus a whole host of modern conveniences, like electric lights, a coal-fired library boiler, and a bowling alley. My personal favorite is the library, but I guess you knew that one already. Mrs. Gunn donated the house to the Historical Society in 1891 with the provision that we keep the place properly maintained and send meals up to her room in the kitchen dumbwaiter. She's actually never come out of her room since then, although she still communicates via telephone or the house intercom sometimes. Let's try the dumbwaiter. 2 ghosts on the 3rd floor. Let's look at the music room. What kind of music do you like, Florence? Electro House. What? You won't have heard of it yet. How bohemian of you. I've got a goblet full of blood. How about that? No, no thank you. Are you sure? I have it on good authority that it's the real deal when it comes to tea parties. No, I think I prefer some actual tea instead of a goblet full of child blood, please. You're gonna catch a curse off that kid if you ain't careful. Curse? Yeah, like you'll get a telegram that just says 7 days, stop. And then 7 days later, you'll get crushed in a printing press or something. I'll be sure to keep an eye out. Okay. Tea service. Oh. Duh. Oh my god. The boiler has hot water, so if I put the tea service under it, I can make tea. God damn it. Wrong room. Can I? Or not. Yeah, bucket seems like it would be the thing. I'll look for one. I'm not talking to you about this thing anymore. Oh, science doohickeys. At some point, I'm gonna play Shadows over Loathing. Walls are still now. Hey. Oh, okay, okay. I I I had to look it up, see where to go to get the tea. I gotta go to the hedge maze and find some tea leaves. Oh, god damn it. Now I remember that. God damn it. Hello again, sir. Did you find some real tea? Sure did. Here you go. Well, that's wonderful. Thank you. Serves the tea, and the four of you. Okay, well, not the doll. Save it with pinkies extended in genteel fashion. And with a giggle and a wave, she fades away. Rest in peace, kiddo. Oh, thank God. I thought that would never be over. Look at me. I'm shaking like a leaf. Kind of a freaky situation, right? Having to deal with these little kids freaks me out bad enough. Having to interact with Ghost of one was horrifying. Anyway, thanks for the rescue. You get back to work. What do you do here? I run the candy counter in the visitor center. Oh. Huh. Yes, I did. There were some tea leaves in the there were some tea leaves in a hedge maze. I had to look it up. Alright, see ya. I'm gonna be done soon. once I finish this DLC, I'm done for the night. Okay. Oh, Jesus, I actually have to leave the manor. Trying to find a guy named McCready. There's a possibility he might have passed through here about 17 years ago. Passed through? We don't stamp passports here. Yeah, if he stayed for a while, I might have a forwarding address. Can you check? Alright. Then books could use a dusting anyway. One sec. She pulls out some big ledgers out of her desk, blows a huge cloud of dust into the air, and starts lifting through them. 17 years, around 78, then 76, 77, 78. Marilyn, Mableston, McMurphy, McCready. Got a Matt McCready. Is that the one? That's him? No forwarding address. But you could ask at his old place just out to the northwest of here. Let me see your map. Oh yeah, looks like you already got it here. Desert House. That's the one. M. McCready, 1887. Stuck to his guns. You dig until your shovel hits a wooden coffin and haul the lid open. A skeleton blinks at you. Oh, well, it doesn't, but anyway. Howdy. Are you guilty, McCready? Well, now, ain't heard that nickname in, what year was it? 1895? What year is it? 1895? 17 years ago. No, I tell a lie. There was that one time 8 years ago. Same McCready that escaped the gallows during an eclipse. Huh. Well, now since the statute of limitations has expired, I might as well fess up. Yep, that was me. Real sweet plan, too. Apart from the one little hitch, it went off smooth as silk. Even worked in a little misdirection to lead the law to them 2 other fellas instead of me. Serves them right, too. They was real murderers. Not like me. I never killed a man except in a fair fight. Except for that one little hitch you mentioned. Miscalculated how long to delay the trial, so in order not to miss the eclipse, called for a trial by combat. Oh. Well, yep, that's the truth of it. You're blaming me for Miss Wainwright's death, I suppose. Why didn't you just trust her? She would have gotten you declared innocent. She had a real good head on her shoulders, but so did that prosecutor fella. I didn't rate the odds better than 50-50. Not good enough. And anyway, the trial by combat was part of her job. She should have been ready. That stinks. She trusted you. She's a ghost now because she feels guilty about losing that trial. I spent ages trying to convince her you weren't innocent. And she backed every step of the way, despite the fact that you got her killed. And you don't even care? You bite your tongue, Sonny. You don't know me. Don't care? I did what I felt I had to do to stay alive. And I felt damn guilty about what happened to Miss Wainwright. But I ain't taking all the blame for it. No, sir. She'll tell you herself she should have been better prepared. Just like she told me that day, apologizing with her last breath. I gave up gunfighting for her. Gave up the only thing I lived for. That's how I felt about it. You gave up gunfighting? Weren't easy, but I did. Bought this house, bought this land, raised some chickens, and had a little vegetable garden. Place has gone to hell since I died. That's a shame. Anyway, I never fired my pistol again, not even at a damn fence post. That's not what it says on your grave. Oh, read it again. That's the fella what killed me having a little ironic joke, I reckon. Someone killed you? You're only the second person to track me down. First one was 9 years after the trial. Vic Timsbury's brother, hunting for revenge. What happened? He challenged me to a duel, and I told him I ain't doing that no more. He asked again, and I said no. He hollered at me, and I took my pistol out of the closet and threw it at his feet, so as he could see how the cylinder was all rusted shut. And he cocked his gun and asked me one last time, and I said no, and last thing I remember is the bang. Kinda him to bury me, though. Guess he weren't all bad. Do you want to see Felicity again? I could take you to her ghost. Nah, I reckon I'll just go back to sleep. Ain't right, a dead fella walking around. Just tell her sorry for me, alright? Here, give her my pocket watch. She'll recognize it. All right, bye, McCready. So long, fella. Close the coffin and fill the hole back in. As you're riding toward your destination, a flash of color catches your eye. You parallel park your horse and stop to investigate the source. It's one of those cacti with the rainbow-colored buttons on it. You pick the edible bits off. Hey, are you ready for this? What now? I found McCready's grave. He wasn't executed. You're 100%. You're 100% certain it's him, not some other man named McCready? It was him. Here, he gave me his watch to give you. She turns the watch around in her hands for a while, just looking at it without saying anything. Then she slowly winds it and listens as it chimes the hour. Yes, this is his watch. All right. Thank you. Wait, you said he gave it to you. He's alive? Not exactly. He's a skeleton. We talked for a while, and then he asked me to bury him again so we could get back to sleep. What did he say? He confirmed our guesses. He knew about the eclipse in advance, installed the trial for his escape plan, but stalled it too long, and decided to hedge his bet by calling for a trial by combat. Let's see. He gave up gunfighting. What? He bought a little house and raised chickens, never fired his pistol again. In fact, he left it to rust. 9 years later, Timsbury's brother caught up to him and challenged him to a revenge match. Brady refused repeatedly, so the guy shot him. He said to tell you he was sorry. She looked at you silently for a moment, then looks at the watch, then she winds the hands back a minute and listens as it chimes again. She sighs and shakes her head, then smiles at you. Thank you, Doc. You make a damn fine attorney. She shakes your hand and fades from view as she does so, leaving her attorney's badge in your hand. Rest in peace, counselor. I took care of her. Oh, thank God. I've got to wash this flour off and get back to work. But first, he starts frantically scratching every part of his body. Damn, feels like I've been saving up these stitches for days. I was about to go crazy. Thanks, Doc. You're a lifesaver. No problemo. Come see me at the visitor center. I'll hook you up with a souvenir photograph. Paul wanders off, still scratching. I do feel significant. Knock, knock. Yes, it's Doc and Florence, ma'am. Ghost hunters. Florence and Doc. Whatever. I do feel significantly less haunted. Did you get rid of all the ghosts? Sure did, ma'am. Actually, my scanner says there's still one. Shh. Yes, ma'am. All ghosts are accounted for. Well, that's splendid. Come right on in. Thanks. Yeah, I figured she was the last one. Hello, Mrs. Gunn. Hello, Doc, was it? Thank you so much for getting rid of all those ghosts for me. Yeah, about that. Turns out there's one left. Oh dear, well, I'll need you to take care of it before I can pay you. Mrs. Gunn, I've got some bad news for you. Oh, what's that? It's you. You're a ghost, ma'am. Well, I'll be. When did that happen, I wonder? My condolences. Why, thank you. You're very kind. You know, this does explain some things. Like what? Well, I haven't had any appetite for months. Nearly a year, in fact. They keep sending food up from the kitchen to the dumbwaiter, but I've just been dropping it out the window and sending the empty plates back to the chef. And sending the empty plates back so the chef won't have her feelings hurt. There's also the fact that you're, well, translucent. Yes, I thought it was just cataracts. Mrs. Gunn's prompts a question, you know. Oh, what's that? Why are you a ghost? Well, I'm sure I don't know. You're the expert. Perhaps you could tell me. Actually, that's me. I'm the expert. You have some kind of unfinished business, something that's tying you to this place? Well, now that you mention it, yes, I suppose I do. Mind telling me about it? My entire family disappeared a few years ago. My husband and 3 daughters. Oh yeah, I heard about that. I'm sorry for your loss. The sheriff suspected they'd been kidnapped for ransom, but no one ever made any demands. They just vanished. I never found out what happened. I always thought they were taken away by ghosts. Why'd you think that? I've always felt guilty about how many people have been killed by my invention. Belt buckle? The gun. Oh, right. They used to worry that their ghosts would come back to haunt me. When I built this house, I had an electrical anti-ghost field installed in the walls of this room. They couldn't get in. No way. Awesome. Wait, that doesn't affect you? Well, I'm sure it would if I attempted to walk through the wall, but it never occurred to me to try. Aha! After Dana and the girls disappeared, I became so sure that ghosts had gotten them that I locked myself in here, after donating the rest of the house to the Historical Society, so that there'd be someone to look after the place. Now I feel rather silly about the whole thing. Silly? I mean, ghosts do exist, obviously. Well, yes, but now that I'm a ghost myself, I can sense the presence of other ghosts, and they only just arrived in this house yesterday or the day before. That was when I called for an exterminator. You know, I didn't even question how I knew they were here, but I don't think there have been any ghosts here before then. Why did they all show up yesterday? I couldn't say. They all seemed very angry and confused. But since they couldn't get in here, they gave up and just started wandering around the house. They gave up quite easily, actually. Maybe because you were already a ghost yourself. Well, Mrs. Gunn, what are we going to do with you? What do you mean? You did contract me for 13 ghosts, ma'am. You're the 13th. Oh yes, obviously I could simply renegotiate the number with you, but perhaps you should go ahead and exorcise me, or whatever you do. I'd rather find a more peaceful solution. Peaceful solution? What do you mean? Well, we can also release you from your ghostitude by solving the problem that's keeping you here. In your case, I guess that means finding out what happened to your family. Oh, well, I would be very grateful if you could. I assume they're dead, and to be honest, I think I've gotten used to that fact. But I surely would like to know what actually happened. Alright, I'll see what I can do. Library? Okay. Sign on this case as breaking case of attic. All these books are about gun parts, such as thumb pieces, extractor springs, and reverse oscillating plystrons. Mrs. Gunn's vanity is elegant but not ostentatious. Take a long, hard look at yourself in the mirror and think about the things you've done. A lot of those things are pretty cool. Not having a table in this room was not on the table. There's a trap door in the ceiling here, and you just happen to have just the stick for opening it. Box of old hats. They're old hat. This box just contains other boxes. Hey, who the heck are you? I'm Docker. But since I'm not the guy who's apparently hiding out in Mrs. Gunn's attic, I feel like you ought to be the one answering that question. Who am I? Well, that's just friggin' typical. I'm Chet Bullet, damn it. Am I supposed to have heard that name before? Yes, you damn well should have. Mrs. Gunn's invention would have been nothing without mine. Wait, let me guess. You invented the bullet? Ooh, I thought for sure you were going to say belt buckle again. Oh, shoot. Now I want to change my guess. You're damn right I invented the bullet, but I was her assistant. So did I get any credit? Hell no. Okay. Sounds like you've got an axe to grind. Not for much longer. Aw, jeez. Yeah, looks like we found the bad guy. Okay, Chet, go ahead and tell us the details of your whole nefarious plan. I don't care much for your tone. Why should I tell you anything? Well, I could just set you on fire with my mind, but I prefer words to incoherent screaming. Well, it's too late for you to stop me anyway, so I suppose it wouldn't hurt to tell you. Certainly not as much as not telling me would. When Mrs. Gunn dies, control of the company and patents passes to me. I'm no murderer, mind you. I'd like to keep my hands clean. But I figured there might be some other people who'd have a bone to pick with her, considering their manner of death. You summoned all those ghosts? That's right. All it took was some basic seance equipment, wired up to the house's belfry for amplification. Snap for a mechanical genius like me. The seance gear summons ghosts related to the summoner. That's the whole point of a medium. A person who knows how to direct the summoning on someone else's behalf. To can talk to your own grandma instead of the summoners. You don't seem like the medium type to me. More like a small. That does explain something I've been wondering about. Oh? It didn't make any sense for all the ghosts here to be haunting Mrs. Gunn, because some of them weren't killed by guns, but they were all killed by bullets. Naturally, I anticipated there'd be a couple of those. That's why I rigged this room with an anti-ghost field, which I cleverly boosted so that the ghosts couldn't even sense me up here. So your plan was to summon a bunch of angry ghosts who would initially be looking for you, but would haunt Mrs. Gunn instead when they couldn't find you. Correct, and once they've haunted her to death, Gunn Industries will be all mine. Well, I hate to be the bearer of bad news, but Mrs. Gunn is dead. On the bright side, she's been dead for a year, so you pretty much wasted your time. What? Really? I'm rich. Now I just need to get out of here without all those ghosts spotting me. Yeah, the ghosts are gone too, so you're pretty much in the clear. Wonderful. The anti-ghost field is pretty effective. But it was starting to make the back part of my brain itch. Flip the switch on an electrical device and you suddenly become aware of the absence of an extremely low-frequency hum right on the edge of your hearing. Something else I want to ask you about. Ask away. What happened to Mrs. Gunn's family? Oh, them. They've been out of the picture for years. I heard a rumor Dan got killed by desperados and buried in a shallow grave out in the backside of nowhere. But of course I wouldn't actually know anything about that. Lucky for me, since I couldn't have inherited the company with him around. Or their daughters. You son of a... Relax, the girls are fine. I'm not a monster. I'm pretty sure you're a monster. There's a weird little island kingdom stuck somewhere on the other side of the ocean. Apparently it's stuck in some kind of bizarre temporal field that keeps nearly anyone from entering or leaving. Can't even find the place if you don't know how. Fortunately, I know a guy who knows how, so I gave the girls 3 free tickets to Sleepaway Camp. Wasn't that nice of me? You're an absolute bastard. Aw, that hurts my feelings. Fortunately, I'm about to have a whole lot of money to console myself with. Why, you? Hold on. We should talk to Mrs. Gunn first before you tear this ass a new hole. I thought she said she was dead. Depending on what she says, you might be too. Hello, hi, Mrs. Gunn. Hello again. Have you managed to find anything out? Yeah, I have good news and bad news. Go on, I'm ready. Jet Bullet had your husband killed and your daughter's kidnapped, so he'd be the sole inheritor of your company when you died. He's also the reason all the ghosts were here. That son of a... I should have suspected something when he suddenly started being so ingratiating back then. And when he wrote off the desperados on his expense account. I'd write him out of my will, but I suppose it's too late. That's rather galling. The good news. He says your daughters are safe. They're just on a magical island somewhere that nobody can get to? It's not exactly comforting, but at this point I'll take it. Plainly, if he'd wanted to kill him, he'd have just done so. Wait, you spoke to him personally? Yeah, he didn't know you were already dead, so he's been hiding in your attic for the last couple days, waiting for the ghost to kill you. What do you want me to do with him? I'll leave it up to you. I'm not in a state to make any reasoned judgment. In any case, you've answered my question, and I can feel myself moving on already. Thank you for all your help. A sad wave, Mrs. Gunn fades from view, and almost as an afterthought, the lock on her desk drawer pops open. Inside, you find a check written out to Cunningham Ghost Annihilation Services. Flow snags with a ching and a blueprint. Alrighty. Well, are we finished here? I've got a business to run. That's gonna be tricking with all the internal bleeding. Oh yeah, I'm fighting this guy. Dang it. Okay, I give up. Chet falls to his knees. You decide to let him dangle for a minute while you rifle through his stuff. You beat the hell out of Chet Bullet, then hog tie him and drag him down to the visitor center. The employees assure you they'll hand him over to the sheriff of whatever jurisdiction this is. Good. Well, that's it. You reckon you brought some Reckonin to Gun Manor. Not the best possible Reckonin, mind you. Maybe there's a better way to deal with Chet? I mean, there definitely is a better way to deal with Jet. I don't know why I said maybe. Anyway, feel free to poke around the grounds looking for loose ends to wrap up. We're pretty much done here. Thanks for playing the Reckonin at Gun Manor. Holy cow, these are some really big bells hanging above you. This house has the biggest bells of them all. Looks like it maybe operates large bells. Ring. Oh, that's nice. Yeah, it's a pretty good bell. Nice clear tones. What the? I don't know much about music, but my understanding is that there are low frequency notes that only ghosts. Huh, I did hear that though. Well, we're standing right under the bells. Honestly, that probably isn't real healthy. Compared to other unhealthy things I've done, this is a spinach salad, so I don't think I'll worry about it too much. All right. So that is it for tonight. That was a longer stream than I was initially planning on, but oh well. So yeah, that is it for the night for West of Loathing. That was fun. I'm glad that I got through all of it tonight. So yeah, I'll be back tomorrow night with Xenoblade Chronicles 2. Gonna be going up the world tree some more. So thank you all for watching. I'll be back tomorrow night. See you then. Bye-bye.